You're listening to M.T.V.B. Podcast. Movies, TV, video and board games. This show may contain swearing.
Hello, welcome to a brand new episode of the M.T.V.B. podcast. It's the podcast that talks about my four favourite subjects, and that's movies, TV shows, video games, and board games. I'm your host, Anty, as well as most people know me as the Ant-Man, and welcome. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about those things that made us think about the ending twice over, and that's top 5 movie twists of all times. And I'm joined by a bunch of guys that love to talk about movies. Guys, introduce yourself around the table, please.
Hey guys, it's Gal, aka Grey Fox in the building.
Libbies.
Hey, it's Goku. Pharmaceutical.
Back.
And it's Dave, aka the real Ant-Man.
Dun, dun, dun.
What? There's a twist for you.
Is
that
wow.
because you're white?
No. It's a twist. I like that.
That is a twist.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit.
Oh, shit. It's two of them.
That was really good. I wasn't expecting that. You caught him out one episode, now you catch me out.
Now
So,
it's
yeah.
just G.
Movie twist, guys. Have we got our list ready for this?
Oh, hell yeah.
Was it a difficult list for any of you at all?
Do you know what? No, this is probably the easiest list, but the funnest one as well, because I had so much and I just had to like remove them to which ones I liked and stuff. It was actually quite fun to do.
So I have to thank Dave for this.
Yes.
He actually,
Thank you, Dave.
got me remembering one. So do me first.
It reminded me.
Otherwise, you're going to spoil my
So
list.
we'll go around. So you're
That's fine. Yeah.
or I can go
At
first.
least
and
I'm
whatnot.
giving you a plug-in. At least I'm saying thanks, Dave. I would have forgotten that.
Yeah, but you ruined his top 5 on that, didn't
Oh,
you?
fuck him then, innit? I love you, Dave.
Or is it Ant-Man? Who knows?
Oh, shit.
So yeah, movie twist. So shall we get on with some questions and then we'll do the normal top 5s?
Yes, please.
Right.
Yes,
So
please.
then, if it doesn't spoil your top 5, obviously, can you remember the first time you watched a movie twist? And it just absolutely mind-boggled you?
Yeah. Probably
Damn
has
it,
to
I should have
be-
preempted this question. I always get to this point, I'm like, damn it, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone wanna go?
It's probably definitely something from the 90s or like a cartoon movie with a twist. I don't know. Trying to think.
So I'm gonna go for one that's not really a massive plot twist, and I did mention this to you, Ant, already.
Okay.
It has since dropped out, but I remember that. So the first time I sort of went, "Oh no," it wasn't a massive. It wasn't.
How did it go?
Oh no! That is exactly what I do if I get a
You
twist.
sound like Cartman.
Shut up, you get.
That was good.
Anyway, so first movie, Saving Private Ryan.
Oh. Okay.
So,
Nice.
so you know where it's going.
That's my number one. Don't
Yeah.
Come off it.
I do.
You haven't even seen that film.
Go.
So yeah, not exactly a massive plot twist. You know they're trying to save Private Ryan, but if you cast your mind back, if you've seen the movie, right at the very beginning, there's a elderly gentleman who is walking through a military graveyard in America, and he falls before a sort of gravestone that you can't see the name on.
Yeah.
And he's obviously overcome with emotion.
Yeah.
And so you're assuming through the rest of the movie, that's Tom Hanks's character.
Because literally the next shot is of Tom Hanks.
Of Tom Hanks. So it sort of goes from the old man's face
yeah.
to
To him
Tom
on the
Hanks
boat.
on the
Yeah.
boat about to land on the beaches.
But it's not, is it? It's
Well, yeah, you get through the
Beaches
movie.
of Normandy.
Hello, hang on a second. Have we got one of John's flashbacks here?
Maybe he was right. That was him on the boat.
He's not even here.
he was in the background.
It's in the-
We make it sound like he's moved on. Moved on in life.
No, he was driving the
his
boat.
gravestone in the-
No, gentlemen.
Yeah.
If you remember, cast yourselves back to the Crimean War. I drove the.
Amazing.
Hey, no, sorry, before we carry on, there's one thing I've got to do.
Spoiler warning.
That should have been at the very beginning. Sorry, I'm so crap at this. But yeah, carry on. Sorry, Dave.
I haven't spoiled anything for Saving Private Ryan because I stopped Big G from spinning to the end. So cut straight to Tom Hanks. You assume that the whole way through that's Tom Hanks's character visiting the grave, presumably of the aforementioned Private Ryan, and that maybe he doesn't make it and he doesn't save Private Ryan.
Yep.
But then right at the end of the movie, you find out it's the other way round. I was like, oh no.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Oh no.
Well, I got one, but...
Well, that was the first, because I watched Saving Private Ryan was one of the first movies that I really sort of, particularly in the war genre, it remains one of my favourite war movies.
Sure.
So
incredible.
It had that twist at the end, and it sort of had that little thing where you're like, oh no, because you expect in the back of your memory,
Shut up.
you expect to the back of your memory that Tom Hanks is going to do the hero thing and make it the whole way through. But he doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't. No. That's right.
That's
really good. I never considered
I never
that
thought that. That's a good...
It is kind of a twist, but it's not like it's not like the twists you might think of.
It's not like a mind-boggling twist, like you thought this was that, and then it was that.
I.e., it's not the question you asked.
No, it's not at all. No, but no, it does lead you on. There's like I remember when the trailers came out, and it's like it leads you on to think like that Tom Hanks is the main guy, is Saving Private Ryan. And I remember when my dad told me, he's like, "Oh, you do realise it's actually a different actor." I'm like, what?
Right? Yes.
I was like, no. Sorry, Gal. What was your one? You saying?
I'm pretty sure this is one of my earliest ones. I'm not just saying that because people are going to be like, oh, he's always mentioned that film, innit? Well, the original Planet of the Apes, when that scene... Dude. It's something I remember ages ago.
This is the original one from the...
Whoa. Oh,
is that from the 60s?
Aircon provided by JK. Thanks for that, John.
So for the listeners at home, the fan on the wall just literally
exploded
and threw its... no, not the fan. The fans at home. The fan we have for aircon just exploded and shot halfway across the floor. At me.
You're right, Dave.
I don't know. I think
let's face it, that was a twist and a half. No one saw that coming.
I think there might be a lawsuit coming your way. Or
coming John's way. He's provided the aircon. Sorry, Planet of the Apes, yes. The original Charlton Heston one.
Sure. The ending where he's walking on and you see the actual fingers, the hand of the Liberty.
Statue of Liberty, The statue of what?
Liberties.
How convenient.
For anyone who doesn't know Big Gal, Liberties is like his all-time catchphrase. Like if you diss him or something, he's like, oh, Liberties, man.
That's all he could come back with off the top of his head after time.
It cuts people off. So, that...
because we're laughing so hard.
Poor man's trying to,
trying to do my thing, man, Dave.
Sorry, apologies.
So the hand, the Liberty statue's hand there, and you finally realise that he was.
It's on the Statue of Liberty, not Liberty Statue.
He's throwing me off. Dave's throwing me off now.
And then he falls to his knees in the sand, doesn't he? He goes, Liberties!
You maniacs! Damn you all to hell!
So I thought that was quite.
I love how it just ends as well. Like no explanation or nothing. It's like, yep.
It just cuts.
I'm What about you, Gokul? Do you remember your first?
You're going to hate me. Did Titanic have a twist?
Oh, what's the matter with you? You always throw something in that doesn't have the subject matter.
This has got to be the worst one.
Like top 5 fighting games of all time. I'll throw in a boxing game. No, that's a sports game. Top 5 action movies. Does Inglourious Basterds count? No.
Damn, that doesn't count.
Gokul doesn't have one then, basically.
No. Oh my god. Okay, no. I'm going to save that. Actually, no, that probably...
Yeah, so I can't really say mine because mine's in my top 5, so mine will come into play later.
Yeah. Come to think of it, that in my top 5 was the first one where I was like, ooh, shit.
Okay.
He did that way more manly than I did.
Oh, shit.
Right, so here's the next question for you, and this I'm sure it has going to come up in your history at all. But have you ever had a movie twist ruined for you or spoiled for you?
Yes, 100%.
Yes, 100%.
Go for it.
I'm not going to say.
Yeah.
Can you say the movie or
no? Because it features on my list.
Right, fair enough.
I'm not going into it in more detail, but I was working in Blockbusters. The time was
you worked in Blockbusters. Check you out.
I've told you that many times.
He's never told me that line.
Dude, he's literally worked everywhere.
Yeah,
really? No.
I get around, yeah. But I was working in Blockbusters, and obviously worked at
He was a
Blockbusters.
fireman one.
Yes. So
He was.
yeah. So I'm thrown off my line now. Stop doing it to me, man. But yeah, we working in Blockbusters. Someone bought the follow-up movie of this movie up to me on the counter and went, "Oh my god, I couldn't believe in the first one this happened." And I was like,
Oh, no.
like,
Yeah,
like you do. You have
for
to,
God's sake.
you have to maintain that air that you know every movie, and every
Yeah.
actor. So half the time you're going, "Yeah, oh yeah, yeah." I have no idea what you're talking about, and I hadn't seen it at that point.
Sure.
And so,
But we'll get to that later.
yeah, we'll get to that later. But
Sure.
he spoiled it, and I can remember thinking, "Oh, okay, oh that ruined that movie for me."
Yeah.
And then years later, when a third came out, and I went, "Oh, I might actually start watching these." I went back to the first one, completely forgot that donut customer at Blockbusters, and was like, "No way!" Was that a bit better?
Yeah, that's more better.
No, I like the. Oh no!
Yeah,
You can have it now if you want.
I've got one.
Claim
I'm not going to say it as well because I believe Goku might have it on his.
Don't
and I
do
never,
this.
and I haven't since this day. Haven't gone back to it. It's one of those
Because you
it
knew
Desperate
about it.
Housewives or something?
Right.
and I know the one that Dave's talking about as well. But
Don't spoil it.
that I think again.
Right, so if no one mentions any of these later, then
Yeah.
we'll do it after
Yeah.
the top fives, yeah? Okay.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
So yeah. But again, if this one is like, if you know there's no point watching it like that
Yeah.
film.
Sure.
And I have a feeling it's on yours.
Probably. Okay, most likely.
Yes.
Okay.
Desperate Housewives or something. It's not a movie though, is it?
It's probably like a
Yeah.
boxing game or something.
Or boxing movie.
They just weren't desperate. Oh, that was a twist.
Ooh. What about you?
Do you
guys?
know, for me,
you
okay,
go.
I haven't. Okay, I've spoilt it for someone. That doesn't count. Does it? Like,
No, if
Like-
someone has spoiled it for you, there's the
no.
question.
Thankfully,
Evil bastard.
Thankfully not, no. But actually, I've been very, very lucky and fortunate that no one's actually spoiled the ending. Or it comes to a point where
You're
they tell
actually
me, I
you're
try and forget
quite
about it.
very
Yeah.
protective of like knowing things about even games.
Absolutely.
If I
I shut my ears and I just shut out. I just walk outside the room or something like that.
I'm not listening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did
social
that during
media's
one
off.
podcast. Yeah, exactly. I just hide my ears and go la la la. You know, and that's it.
I
Yeah,
purposely
but,
start making shit up because I was like, "Girl, shut up!"
He does this, and it so annoys me. He's like, "Oh, at the end he dies, doesn't he?" Or something like that, and I'm like, "Libby." And I'm like, and then I found out one time that did actually happen, and I was like, "You fucker!" Like, really?
Because sometimes I'll be
Spoil it for
actually
me.
telling the real thing, and he thinks I'm joking,
Right.
and my brothers be like, "Oh, you're Libby's man." Like,
Yeah.
We're not
They
playing
try
a
to
social
hide.
deduction game here, man. You don't need to be like,
No, I'm just saying, that's-
moves ahead.
Yes, I think
But yeah.
I definitely had one ruined for me. Again, I'm not sure if it's in your list, so I won't say it. But again,
Okay.
we'll bring it up later if it's not the case. But I was in college and obviously doing movies and whatnot, and I had a guy with me. One of my cameramen was one of these guys that likes to decipher films, and he
of
pretty
those.
much guessed it through watching the trailer. And this is before, like, obviously, we never really had access to the internet at the time
Yeah.
to watch trailers. You had to go to the cinema to watch
To
a
watch a
trailer.
trailer.
So someone else. Who
And
likes
sometimes he
trailers.
will watch it and just decipher the whole movie just like that. And he did it with this specific film. You can probably see where this is going.
Wow, yeah.
But
Okay.
but yeah, we'll mention it later.
Was it John who loves the trailer?
I didn't know John then.
Oh, okay.
My sister.
John was actually like 40 and something when all this happened. So
Yeah, my sister's very much like that.
what deciphering it?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's really irritating because you'll be sitting watching a movie. You'll think, "Oh, I've watched this, but you'll really like this. We'll come over, we'll get some drinks in. We'll sit on a nice couch and recline and and she'll be about 10 minutes into it, and she'll go, "Oh, I bet that person's going to be the bad guy, aren't they?" And I'm like, "No." Otherwise, there's no point sitting.
But
and
mind
watching
you,
it, is there?
you're like that as well.
Am I right?
When we watch specific films, we're like, I bet this does that. This is that.
Is that annoying though? Like, do you find that annoying?
When John does it, yes.
Oh, okay, fair.
Because you say it once, he says it 20 times.
Oh, okay. I like calling things out like, as I'm watching them, but I do it thinking, "Oh, I might be right," not like, "Oh, I'll know it all." And,
But I am JK47.
but I am JK47.
So let's move on with the next one. So do you think a movie twist at the end, because sometimes movie twists happen halfway through, but if it happens at the end of a movie, does it make the movie better? Like, say, for example, the movie is pretty much rubbish until the very end, and you're like, that makes sense. Does it make it better at all?
That's a good. For me, I think it does. Like, I was actually thinking about this don't know, even just doing this list, I thought most of these movies that I've got, like something happens at the end. For me, it's nice when it builds up to it. And then when it happens, it's like, whoa, okay, didn't see that coming. Fantastic. But sometimes you get a really dry movie and it gets saved because of the twist at the end.
Sure.
So, because I thought there's a few movies where it kind of like, it's a slow burn. So you see it being revealed as the movie goes on. And it kind of, I don't know, for me anyway, it kind of dampens it because you know what's going to happen.
Right.
But then when it's like a sudden shock, like a cliffhanger or one of those like last scene kind of like, reveals, I get excited by that. For me, I
100%
class that as a
agreed.
twist movie.
I think you hit it on the head with that one.
Right?
Because
That's like totally answered
You've
everyone.
nailed it
right?
there because it is that.
Is that right?
If you can see it coming,
Yeah.
it's not a twist.
Sure.
So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
it makes
Yeah.
the movie naff, and we can probably all reel off a load of naff movies that you've completely seen the ending coming. But when it comes out of nowhere, that's when you're like, oh,
You literally buzzing.
I've got to go and find
when you're
someone.
leaving the cinema.
I've got to go and find someone who's
Absolutely.
watched this movie.
You want to talk about
so I
this,
can
right?
talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And
the
I think
best-
literally all of our top fives is probably have this the ending at the climax at the end, the twist
Exactly.
at the end. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have they ever done a movie, just out of interest, they probably have, where after the credits, there's a twist after the credits?
No.
They haven't done That'd be interesting to
So
see.
I can think of a TV episode.
Okay.
That makes
wrong
it-
subject.
Wrong subject.
Yeah.
Wrong subject,
haven't-
wrong Dave.
Wrong subject, wrong Dave. Yeah, because he might be Ant-Man.
I am the real Ant-Man.
I can't think of...
Or Godzilla?
I can think of like movies leaving cliffhangers, obviously, at the end,
Yeah,
but not
yeah,
a twist,
not a
at
twist.
least.
No. Okay.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, you pretty much nailed it there, really.
Yes.
But I don't know. If like 75% of the movie is just like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if a
take that.
twist helps it or not, or makes it better. It might help it, but I don't know if it'll
Yeah.
make the movie better.
It depends on the type of films. If you're going for an action film, you're surely at the end you're not going to get a twist. It's more like a happy ending or like even like a cliffhanger. But it's throughout the whole film, you're like just enjoying it because like for argument's sake, you're watching Transformers. It's not like, oh, this is wicked. As soon as a climax, like a twist happens, bang! You're like, oh shit! It's just like what Dave said, like
Bang! He transformed.
That car can be a robot.
What
It was
what's wrong
a
with
car?
Transformers, man? Transformers is amazing, but yeah, you know what I'm trying to say, So
Yeah.
But when it does,
totally-
I think I
We get it.
generally, if a film does that, I think it just. I might have said it earlier. I might do a John repeating. It elevates it even
It's
more.
grown on. Yeah.
Everyone's so paranoid about doing a John at the moment. Aren't they?
No one wants to do a
Fuck
job.
that.
So,
Good question.
yeah, you pretty much nailed it for everyone. So can't really say anything else that will change it. So you've seen a movie with one of the biggest twists at the end, right? And now that you know the end, do you go back and watch that movie differently now?
Yes,
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yep.
Give an example.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Oh yes. Oh no.
See, we're going to stray into list territory here.
No.
aren't we, for the
I
best
think.
ones?
Carry on. I think I've got one.
There is one. Yeah, we had to rewatch it multiple times.
So I hope this is not in someone's thing. I'm just pulling out from my honorable mentions. Fight Club.
Oh, Fight Club.
So yeah, that is a film where like you
Yes.
work out
Yeah.
at the end.
Bro, you're so
It's
right
his
about
imaginary
Yeah,
friend.
so
Yeah.
if you rewatch it, you can actually like
that. Yes.
find out. Oh, he's actually talking to himself.
So,
Sort of.
That's so
You know?
true, because I watched Fight Club a couple of weeks ago, and there's a scene where he's on the airplane and he's talking to Tyler Durden, and he's like, "Oh my god, yeah, it makes sense."
Fucking
Like, it's
love
as if
Fight
he's
Club.
not
There's
there.
so many good one-liners.
Such a
in
good
that
movie, right? Yeah,
I might
exactly.
just
Oh,
pop
man.
I love that scene when he's talking to him on the plane for the first time, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Do you know why they give you oxygen? Oxygen gets you high. See these people, calm as Hindu cows."
Isn't there a slight hint in that
good. Yeah.
scene as well? In that
Yeah,
airplane
he
where-
starts flashing every so often,
that's
doesn't he?
him, his insomnia.
But it's one of those films.
Yeah.
Where, it's one of those parts where you look at it and go, "Did that just happen? Did I just see something quickly, like a quick flash,
That's
whatnot?"
right.
Sort of thing.
Yeah.
The hints there, like from the beginning. But I don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where like.
Yeah, I mean,
back to your
I
question.
personally like, especially his earlier work, like Christopher Nolan. like stuff like Memento and
Yes.
whatnot, and you
Oh.
kind of go back and try and connect the dots to it a bit more.
That's
Whatnot,
right.
sometimes.
Yes. Yeah. Memento is a classic example of that, isn't it? That's something you kind of have to watch again to fully. I mean, unless you get it the first time.
To figure out spoiler warning by everyone that the movie works backwards. It goes from ending to beginning. So it's like, oh, wow, that's like
That is clever,
genius.
That's
Genius
basically what
twist.
with the movie. You're just like, oh
Oh no! About you, Dave? Anything?
movie.
Well, again, Sixth Sense probably.
Yeah.
If that's in anyone's list.
That's not mine.
No? Oh, you were looking worried.
That's the film that I was worried about because I think he had it.
Is it? In,
So good.
Okay, well, we'll move on from that one.
right. So
we can talk about
all right.
it.
So now that you brought that was the movie that got ruined for me. Like,
That's the
he
one I
pretty
was
much just
talking
like, and
about.
I watched the movie like, oh fuck's sake. But no, having said that, now you know the ending. You go back and see,
you
like
watch it a
did
different-
this do that and this
Yeah.
do that? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You guys, feel free to talk about it. Honestly, it's not even that high on my list. So
I like how you're trying to make it out. It's okay.
No, we'll talk about it when it gets to your list.
Yeah,
All right,
don't worry,
that's the
don't
only
worry.
thing annoying doing with top five, is just like trying not to ruin it. So, so the next question obviously is what you asked earlier.
Yes.
Have you ruined a movie twist for anyone?
good question.
Yes, purposely to Goku.
All the time, this guy.
No, because he's annoying. He deliberately does it that he doesn't avoid. He avoids spoilers. So I deliberately say stuff. But by then he'll forget. But I deliberately, you know what?
tries.
For argument's sake, Planet of the Apes. He's actually on Earth. He'd be like, oh, shut up, girl, you lie, and he'd be like watching it and he'd forget by then. But I deliberately do it on him. But I don't do it
Twist on
to
a
people
twist.
like Dave or thing. It's just to annoy him.
Exactly right. Because
What a nice...
I think I joke about it. I don't think I've actually spoiled
I'm just a cunt.
an ending for anyone. But I remember I took my daughter to cinema and we saw, I think it was like Paddington Bear or something. But the same weekend, The Last Jedi had come out, Star Wars one, yeah. So we'd come out of the cinema and there's all these people in a line. So I've got my daughter around my arm and said, "Wow, what a movie! Who'd have thought Lord Snook was Ray's father?" And everyone just turned and looked at me. It was like the classic Homer Simpson episode when he walks out of Empire. He's like, "Wow, who'd have thought Darth Vader was Luke's father?" And they're like, "Oh, thanks for that, buddy." But no, I kind of like, if I know something's coming, like we used to do movie nights around mine, and we used to do movie marathons and whatnot, and I used to get you to watch a lot of stuff that had a twist at the end.
Yeah.
It's just good to see
Reactions
of it,
love to see the reaction, yeah.
And
Yes.
and the thing is now that I've shown you so many now that you're trying to guess it. Like we watched Dead Silence not long ago, did we? Which has a twist at the end.
Yeah.
And you clocked it.
I think
literally halfway through, and I'm trying to sway you away from it.
I think it's because his style is, because I watched a couple. It's James Wan.
James Wan, yeah.
His style is very so maybe I clocked onto that, but that was a good film. That Dead Silence.
Yeah.
That's got amazing twists.
About you, Dave, have you ever ruined anyone?
No, because
See?
it annoys
That's how you do
me
it. Us white guys
I like
so
that.
keep
much
it.
when I have something spoiled.
Yeah.
I'll stay off all sort of like...
Yeah, but
Like
thing about
online
Dave,
stuff, if it's
a really
he
good
won't
movie.
spoil it, but he will
Same.
go in depth into the film, and he makes you want to watch it.
Yeah, sure.
That's pretty cool.
Well, that's
Yeah,
the point,
that's
isn't
great,
it?
man.
You recommend
I like
it,
that.
someone to
Yeah.
get them to watch it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's good that if you don't mention the ending, because then you're like, you come back to him and go, "You didn't tell me about that. You didn't tell me that." Like Luke Skywalker was his kid.
have you ever come up against those sort of people who you're trying to because like G said, I will try and talk as much as I can and extol the virtues of a movie without actually spoiling it, so they then go and watch it. Have you ever come across them people who then go, "Oh yeah, I'm going to watch that. Go on, tell me the end
hate
of it.
that.
Go on,
Yeah.
just tell me. I really want to know now."
I'm those type
Yes.
of
It's
people.
like you're not gonna watch it. You just want-
I will still
Yeah.
watch it, but I think it's because you've explained it so well that I want to know now.
I'm not
Yeah.
telling you now. It's a cliffhanger. You got to go and watch
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
At least you don't do it
that's
with John,
really
though. He fucking just ruins everything.
20 times. We love you, John. Good one. For me, again, there's probably a movie on someone's list, but I'll just say it happened during university. Describe the scenario. But it was like Freshers Week, and everyone just gets drunk. And I must have walked into someone's flat, and there's a group of them. It was in my flat, and there's a group of his friends sitting down on the bed and watching the movie, and I just walked in and I was like, oh yeah, the ending, that guy. Yeah, and they were like, and literally like in the darkness you can see their face just turn and give me this evil look, and I was like, shit, I just spoiled the movie. And my friend's like, go on, get up, go on.
And then you made a speedy
now.
exit as all the cans
Just
went
went
flying your way.
yeah. Stumbled, walked out. I was like, yeah.
Was that like?
Never saw them again.
No, man.
Oh no. Yeah.
Sorry.
So one last question before we start the top fives. So some movies nowadays with twists in story make it harder for certain audiences to follow. So do you ever find that types of movies annoying, or do you like to have that little debate at the end with friends, family saying, no, I reckon this happened, no, I reckon that happened, or...
Yep.
And sometimes maybe just go back, rewatch it and try and solve it,
Yeah.
for example?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
any more engagement you can have at the end of a movie with your friends, or even if it's conflict.
Yeah.
No, I think that I'm gonna pick up the old one of my favourites, Blade Runner.
Yes.
The original, when that before it was all sort of cleared
Sure.
up. That is he a replicant? Is he not? I argued with my dad over that. But it's not a bad argument, is it?
It's not at all.
If you're talking passionately, it means that you cared about the movie. So
It's almost like a bonus from that film, isn't it?
Yeah,
An extra
definitely.
additional bonus.
100%.
But it is. I think. Yeah, it must be hard for people who might not watch as many movies or are used to sort of simpler. Not. I don't want to sound condescending, but
You're right,
simpler
simpler
plot lines.
Sure.
Yeah.
Who, if you take them to see a movie and it goes over their head, that's when it gets a bit difficult, isn't it? Because
Agreed. Yeah.
you don't want to have to try and explain because you feel like you're being patronising.
Yeah.
Did you get that?
Yeah. Oh, mate.
Did you get that? Nash?
understand
Did you understand that?
I do that with my wife sometimes. It's like, do you remember that part? Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
But half the time she's on her phone anyway, watching the films. I was like, what happened? She was like, did you not just watch?
Yeah, I think for me, like, it's especially movies that, like what you said, like leaves the audience to decide for themselves. It's annoying. Like Korean film does it the worst. Like when it's in the street, right?
100%.
You agree with me, but it's at the same time, it's amazing because the director's like, you know what? Why don't you guys just come up with the ending? And then I think that's brilliant. Like we can actually come up with an idea. Like actually, I think he's done this because so and so. Or this is how it's ended because so and so. And I
Do you remember when we used to work on a specific roster in our career? We used to just talk about movie endings and whatnot. And I brought up one which was like a fan favorite twist, which was the ending to The Thing. Do you remember what I was saying? That which one of those could be The Thing, and how Charles. His breath, you don't see his breath until the very end because he's fully assimilated to the end, and it mind boggled you because I knew for a fact you went back and watched that.
I did. But wasn't that theory explained in the game? Isn't that what you said?
So now, so if you played the game, the theory is explained at the end. But
what was it?
I'm not telling you, go play the game. Go buy a PS2 and play the game.
Yeah. It's just amazing. Like.
I know. Do you know there's two movies, both from the same director, and it's Nolan,
God.
right? So Inception. Was definitely one of them because I remember seeing that in the cinema. Yes.
Don't start him.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dave, you know about this, right? Yeah. Bong. Right. So after 10 consecutive bong, we're still thinking, what the hell is going? So we went to see the movie. I think I saw it twice because I saw it the first time and I had to see it again. And then I remember going to the Cineworld McDonald's like outside, and seriously, there were just people who were there just talking about the movie. And it was like you said, it was interesting to hear everyone was talking about this movie because our brains were just like fucking exploding, and we were like, what do you think happened at the end? No, but this, but that. And it was so interesting to see that. You never think so many people.
It's still my favourite
talk about
Nolan film
it.
to this day. I love how the amount of times I go back and watch it, it still rattles my brain. Because there's like certain scenes in the film that you think to yourself, that's definitely a dream.
Exactly.
That, even though it doesn't seem like it, it's
still a dream.
why are the walls closing in on this certain point?
Exactly.
All that sort of stuff.
What's reality and what's not. And every time the totem spins, you're looking at it to see if there's a little bit of a
There is a little jolt on it.
This is it. And this is what everyone at McDonald's was talking about. Oh, there's a little jolt. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like that's what it was.
Yeah, that was a cracking film.
That was that. And the other one, this one we recently watched, guys. We all went to see this. Everyone here. Tenet.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it came from that. And
Little gal's favourite film.
oh, mate, he loves that
2020.
movie. He's so passionate about that movie.
Go back and listen to the 2020 movies episode, and you'll find out that's literally not true.
Yeah, that even till now, I think I must have seen it about 4 times now. Like,
Really?
Yeah,
I've
Do
only
you
seen
fully
it.
understand it?
No.
No, neither do I.
I don't think I've scratched the surface even, you know? Like, it's really
We
good.
came out of that film, didn't we? And everyone just sort of looked at each other for a split second, trying to gauge whether everyone liked it. And then it was like, right, so what happened?
And then after that happened, we're like, right,
Yeah.
board games, let's go.
Yeah, I remember I couldn't like take in that we were playing like the dinosaur board game and I couldn't focus. I was still trying to think about the movie, and Jay's like, "Come on, Goku, roll the dice. 3 + 2 is 5." And I was like, "No, I really need to know what happened in this movie." Yeah, it was. Yeah, even till now, I think that came to a point where it just got annoying. Like even till now, it's like nothing's really clear cut with that. It's still up in the air.
Do you ever have a movie that's like you still don't get the ending to it?
Tenet, apart from
Tenet?
yeah.
I think I've got one, but it might be in Big Gal's top 5, so I'll probably bring that up later.
Do you know what? I think maybe because I watched this when I was young. There's a movie with Brad Pitt called 12 Monkeys. Is it 12 Monkeys?
I love 12 Monkeys.
Hey, that was incredible. I remember
Such a good movie. Good twist to that at the end
there
of
was
that as well.
absolutely even trying to put that movie together. I don't know. Have you guys seen it? Galden?
No.
Is it that time travel?
Yes.
Yes.
Time
I
travel.
need
Yeah.
to see that.
Yeah.
I need to see
You
that.
haven't seen it?
Oh, that movie's
dude,
good.
you will.
Yeah.
It's not like your average time travel type film.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because the director's like very
Apparently-
artsy-fartsy sort of thing, but it is really good.
Is it?
For time travel
There's a
film,
TV shows as well, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, don't watch that. You watch the film first and then watch... I'm not saying the show's crap. I'm
Yeah.
just saying watch the movie first before you ever start the show.
Okay.
Yeah. It's good.
I know.
You like time travel, guys?
Yeah. That's my thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm on it. I'm on it like a cop.
Yeah.
The twist. You're back from the future.
But he's not from the future.
No, you.
Oh,
I said time travel's my thing.
I know it is. I'm just trying to.
So if no one's got anything else to throw in, should we just go straight to the top 5s?
Yes. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's time for a top 5. Number 5.
So I think we're not going to go Gal first because he's going to ruin people's top 5. So we're going to go to the second coming of Anthony. Dave, number 5, sir. What's your number 5?
So my number 5 has actually been mentioned already,
Okay.
and it's Star Wars.
Ooh.
Oh, damn. Sorry,
Empire
Dave. Sorry.
Strikes Back.
You know, wait a minute. No one mentioned Star Wars, did we?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I didn't do it on purpose.
Oh, yes.
No,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
I mean,
we didn't
it's-
actually talk about it.
It's
properly.
low down because
Yeah.
it's low. It's number 5 on the list purely because I feel like so everyone knows it now.
Yeah.
Sure.
Almost
Everyone.
it's lost its.
Let's just
sort
say
of
I'm
twist.
glad
But
you got it there.
Going right back to the childhood when I watched it, and then you're like, what? What? Darth Vader can't be Luke's father.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
And then he falls off. No.
I can hear the microphone. No.
Oh, no.
It's iconic. It's an iconic.
Right, so
one.
can I just ask, so you saw that before any other Star Wars film? Like, you saw it before Return of the Jedi and stuff?
I saw the New Hope first.
Right, no, because my first one was Return of the Jedi. So it's like when the
Was
twist
it?
happened in Empire, I was like,
How come that was your first one?
because I don't know, because it's that one that I was born around that era that movie
okay.
came out, and my parents had a copy of it. So Star Wars Return of the Jedi was the Star Wars film that got me into Star Wars. So the twist from when
I watched
Empire
it,
happened
yeah.
didn't really affect me as much. So I didn't know if you guys had the same sort of. Did you watch any others before?
I think I watched it at a stage where I was a bit young, so I was like, oh, okay.
I don't get it.
No, I understood, but it wasn't like, oh my, what the fuck? sort
Right,
of thing.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's why it was.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you brought it up because it is quite iconic.
Yeah,
that
So
totally.
it is
scene.
one
Yeah.
of the most iconic sort of
Movie twist ever.
So
Yeah.
iconic.
But yeah,
I mean, I would have wished if I watched it at the age when I was, actually able to understand and, like, oh my God, this is sick.
Exactly.
He's actually his father, and all the sort of imagination's kicking off. Oh my God, so who?
but
who the
he's a
fuck-
Sith.
Yeah, like how? How the fuck? Like,
Exactly.
but
Yeah.
Obi-Wan said, he was this. That. Oh my God, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So, that would have been amazing. Like,
Definitely.
Yeah, it's a movie twist that I wish I saw properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And yeah,
I busted it out on VHS on a triple,
Yeah.
triple
Yeah.
box set
That's
of
it.
VHS.
This
You know
is
who
size
had
of a house brick.
Do you know who had that? Our mate
Who had that?
Jargon. I borrowed it off him.
Oh, he borrowed it?
We used to borrow it out to me every. We used to go tuition.
Oh,
I used to go to his house
He
and
used
look.
to
I borrowed it this
from
week
Was he
again.
Jargon?
Yeah.
Sounds like
yeah.
a Star Wars character.
He's actually Dr. Jargon now.
Oh,
he's
nice.
GP who watches sci-fi movies, and
Yeah.
he was the first one. I told you about it, and I think I found out from
Yeah.
a few friends. But that twist, right, Dave? Like, to me, do you know how I perceive that? For the first time watching it as a kid, I was like, shit. So your dad is a bad guy. Like, you think of your own dad as being a good guy. Like, how can your dad be the bad guy? Doesn't make sense. And then, oh, mate. Fucking love Star Wars, man. It's so cool.
Yeah,
for them
me
to do
too.
that.
Fuck you,
Wow.
John, and your Star Trek
Yeah.
shit.
But it's only so low
Yeah.
down purely because I feel like it's sort of lost its.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's the one that everyone knows about,
Yeah.
even though if you haven't seen the movie,
Even if you
everyone
know
knows about
nothing
it.
about
Everyone
Star
knows about
Wars, you're going to know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am your father.
Oh, yeah.
It's like everyone knows that. You know,
Everyone.
so iconic.
Yeah.
I'm seriously so glad you, because I was thinking about putting it in. I was like, oh, what's the point? Like, you know, is that
Literally the first thing. This is literally the first thing I said when my kids were born.
Yeah, it's got to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good
That
choice.
makes
Good
sense.
choice.
And that's
That is a
number
good
5
choice.
for
So-
the Ant-Man.
So
Amazing.
we're going this way, yeah.
Yeah.
But you're going to go last.
Oh, I'm happy. I'm actually happy.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, because
He's confident.
Right. So my number 5.
Strong, confident man. huh?
Yeah, strong, confident man.
man.
Louise. Anyway, number 5. My number 5 is a movie I think I showed you, Big Gal, a couple of years ago.
Oh, no.
And it's a David Cronenberg film called Existenz. Anyone seen it apart from you?
Yes.
No.
Never seen it? So basically it's a movie that questions about reality. So video games and video game consoles are now essentially organic, and they plug into your spine. And it's
Creepy as fuck.
Yeah, it's creepy as fuck, but it's such a great concept. But the terms of virtual reality in these games is like us now talking around this table. It is so realistic, you cannot tell what is real if you're playing a game, whatnot. And so at the start of the movie, we find the creator explaining her new video game console and what it does. And like I said, it plugs into your spine and whatnot. And then these people, there's like a bunch of rebels that invade this conference and try and shoot her because, you know, she's essentially getting rid of reality. You know, people are getting lost in these video games. How it's such a big thing at the time.
Sure.
So she's on the run with Jude Law. He's like her bodyguard sort of thing. And in the whole movie, he's not a video gamer, but she gets him into games, and it kind of explains how these games work. So as you as the audience, you are essentially Jude Law trying to figure out, you know, how these games are played, why does it go into your spine, etc., etc. Towards the very end of the movie, again, I know you've not seen it, so I will try not to go into it too much, but again, the ending questions whether is this a game or is this reality still?
Nice.
And that's what I love about it. Do you remember the scene where they're playing the game and he turns that... So basically, Jude Law goes... There's a scene where Jude Law goes into a restaurant and he orders... It's like a mutant creature, whatnot, and he eats it, whatnot, and it's bones. When what he does with his bones, he makes a gun out of it. And he says, the game is telling me I want to shoot our chef. I don't know why, but I have to do it. And you know, it sounds so stupid the way I'm talking about it. It's frigging awesome how it's done. I'm not particularly the biggest David Cronenberg fan. He's done some, you know, some good movies, not so good that I think of. But this one for me, it was technically essentially the first, you know, apart from Empire, the first proper movie twist I had. Like, it was the first one I saw in the cinema. I was like, what? That's the ending?
Yeah.
Because again, literally the last line of the movie is, wait, is this still a game? Yeah. And then it cuts. So again, it's one of those ones where we talked about earlier on, whether you think it's a game or whether your mates think, nah, this is real, because look, come on, it's going to be stupid. But I highly recommend it if you ever get hold of it or it's on streaming service. Existenz is, it's my number 5.
So it was very not trippy, like the organic things that they do is very...
Like the console itself is literally just like a pink blob, and it's got like it's like a tentacle and a little plug that pops into a little hole in the bottom of your spine.
Okay.
Is this before or after The Matrix?
Yeah.
It was exactly the same year, 1999, which is my favorite year of movies, by the way. So much great stuff came out there.
Oh,
yeah. It's along the lines of Matrix. And do you ever see The 13th Floor?
I think...
Is that a horror movie?
No, it's a movie, again, that questions the life of reality, and are we just being run
Oh,
by a
that was a
computer organism sort of thing?
That wasn't 1999 as well, was it?
That was 98.
Oh, that was a period for questioning reality.
Reality,
obviously,
pretty much, yeah.
Movies,
Yeah.
and sticking things in your spine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I've got Existence. If you ever want to watch it, there's a big cast in it as well. If you ever want to give it a go, but I don't even know. I've just spoiled it for you, but it is worth you watching because you're trying to clock it as you watch it. You know.
great.
But like, I think Rick and Morty do an episode on Cronenberg's, and it's very like all these mutated things, and that's what his Cronenberg is known for, like
Like mutant creatures and organic sort of stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
so is that what Red Dwarf Better Than Life? If you've ever seen that episode,
is that
about?
What year did that come out? What season was it?
Early. I wouldn't know which one.
I honestly don't remember it.
That's
Red
the same-
Dwarf
that's the
for
same
me.
sort
I
of
never
thing.
really got into Red Dwarf till like season 3 onwards. So if it was like season 1 or 2, I don't really remember it
might
much.
have been, it was very early, but they're getting lost in
That's so funny. I love
computer
that
games
show.
where they can have what they want, kind of thing.
What is this?
Okay, Red Dwarf. You never watched Red Dwarf? What?
TV show, right?
My goodness.
Yeah.
Whoa!
By the way, little
You
thing.
can tell he's not British, everyone.
Yeah, the guy who voiced Takeshi's Castle. What's his name?
Craig Charles.
Craig Charles.
Yeah. I knew Craig Charles' brother. Long story.
Rimmer.
Yeah, for real. Like, yeah, it was weird. He came in. He's like, "Oh yeah, you see Red Dwarf? It's my brother." And I was like,
No
"Wow,
way.
no
That's
way."
awesome.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
Sign my
Great
tits.
All right, so that's added to the list. I need to watch Red Dwarf. Okay, cool.
Red Dwarf is
Right.
amazing.
I think
Yes,
it's on
yes.
Netflix
Yeah, you'll be able to
or
watch it.
Amazon One.
What is it? What am I getting into? What is it?
UK
TV
Gold.
series. Comedy TV series.
We'll educate you
When the episode's done.
later when we're not on an episode about movie twist.
Thank you, Sensei.
So yeah, number 5, Existence. Give it a go, guys. Gal,
Nice.
what's your number 5,
My
sir?
number 5 is it's a film that recently came out, 2020. It's a Korean film.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, this is on my list.
Yeah, boy.
Bong Joon-ho.
Yeah, this is
Right.
on my list.
Is it Parasite?
Yep.
Oh, no way.
What number was it? Number 5.
I think it was 4.
So glad we're talking about
Yeah,
this. Okay,
this-
that's your number 5, and your number 4, Dave?
Yes.
And it's your number 1.
Thankfully not.
Is it in your list?
It did make it. Pulled it off. Yeah,
Oh,
'cause
so
I think
it's
I was
not in there,
beaten.
right, okay,
But it
right.
was on the list for
Right.
that reason. Yeah, and I
But
knew-
you're glad
I
we're
knew
talking
you had
about-
that.
Do
Yeah.
you want to go? I'll do it.
No, you guys. You're
Yeah, for me, this is one of my favorite Korean films. Not just because it won an Oscar. Like we've been like quite heavy in on Korean films, and I've got if you know what's his name, the Bong
Joon-ho,
yeah,
Bong Joon-ho,
he's done like a lot of great things like Murders of Murder.
Oh, that and Mother are my favourite films
Mother.
of
It was
his.
my first Korean.
He did
movie.
Mother.
He did Mother. Oh,
you
it's
told me
such a.
about
Have you ever seen that,
Mother is
Dave?
sick.
Oh, mate,
It's
need to
sick.
let you borrow
Dave,
it.
that is
You'll
so
love it.
good.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
Oh wow.
And again, like even if his endings are so like, what the fuck? You can't leave it like that. Like Memories
Memories of Murder. Yeah,
I
definitely.
was just like, oh my god, you can't. Yeah. Anyway, Parasite. But Parasite, I think it's got one of. It's not like it's more like drama driven, like very heavy, and it's very based on society. I think me and Goku were talking about it on the way, like how the
very
poor and the
satirical.
rich, the difference. And it's
Yeah.
basically about. Sorry. About family. Like, first of all, like I think when the film actually came out, the word parasite, I think people were like, "What the hell is
So
this?"
yeah, let me stop you for a second. So
Yeah.
when the trailers came out for this film,
Yeah.
Parasite was essentially looking to be or advertised as a Korean horror film.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's whatever people
So
thought.
when me and Gal finally
Yeah, I
sat,
thought
because
that
we
too.
watched this the same time as together, because we watched it online, didn't we? When we watched it, I'm like, what's going on here? This is like
Yeah.
is this
We're
like a dark
expecting-
comedy
Did
sort
you
of
think it
thing
was
and
the wrong
whatnot?
movie or something?
Yeah, at one point.
Yeah.
But then when all the characters from the trailer came in, I'm like, I was just so confused. But yeah, carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, you're expecting things to kick off like shit, zombie horde or something getting but it's very like slow. Like I would say a bit slow. There's elements of dark humor, so funny. Some of the scenes like. So the gist of it is basically a poor family, not poor, like they're getting by sort of thing, and then the son in that family starts working at his mate's house where he works as a tutor for the rich
tutoring,
owner, and then slowly he integrates, gets rid of the house nanny or whatever, gets his mum employed there, gets his dad as a driver,
yeah.
and basically they start.
And his sister,
almost,
isn't it?
Yeah,
His
his sister as well.
is a
as a musician teacher.
Yeah.
And slowly, obviously, the nanny plays a key role in it as well. The nanny or maid or whatever. And so slowly, the whole family's in there, just like scheming and getting money from these rich people, which, you know, at the time they were doing all right, but some certain things happen, things spiral out, and at the end, that climax, I would say massacre-ish sort of scene.
Oh, yeah.
It flips out, doesn't it?
Yeah, it proper
Absolutely.
flips out, and you're like, what
Totally.
the fuck? At this point, you're literally like, whoa, what?
Exactly.
But throughout the time, you know, the family are like struggling quite, you know, they live at this below ground level
basement.
Like a
basement, and
Yeah.
their house gets flooded, and some iconic bits, like you could see, like before the actual massacre, you could see where the tipping point was for the father and stuff.
Absolutely.
And the ending as well, like.
Okay, so
I think I'll let you carry on. I want to let you know.
Like I say, well, you get the parasite term, and like Ant was saying, if I hadn't really heard or watched many trailers about it, you think, oh, I thought it was going to be some sort of thriller or more horror.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I'm thinking, is it parasites like Gal was saying, like some sort of parasite invading person? But it's not. It's the whole family parasitically living and latching on to this rich
That's it,
family who, and the whole sort of point of a parasite is it's feeding off another organism. But the idea of, you know, it's not supposed to damage or in any way sort of destroy its host, because then that's counterintuitive and that destroys the parasite.
that's right.
So
Exactly.
as I started working out that's the parasite act of it,
Yeah.
I'm watching it like that, thinking, okay, so they're embedding themselves like a little tick in the the successful family,
Because they try
And they're
everything
gonna-
to get
yeah,
to work
they
for this
do,
family.
and they're going to try drawing the blood or the money from that family.
Yeah.
And as long as that family's doing well and surviving, they're in there, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're good
Exactly.
they're set for life,
Yeah.
which is why when you have that little escalation and that twist. Well, that sort of snowballing at the end, where everything suddenly starts going downhill and they can't do anything to stop it.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It spirals out of control.
It goes the wrong way you expect, because they end up, you know, it's they can't parasite anymore.
I've got to say, the scene where they're all hiding under the table
Yeah.
is one of my favourite scenes ever.
Pans and you see, it's
my
got
God.
that. Oh, I've got his name, man.
He's one of my favourite
my
Korean
favourite,
actors.
yeah.
That part when he just lies down dead. So no, see him in the light. It's brilliant.
It's amazing.
That's when they're having sex.
So,
on the couch,
like
isn't it? Just like,
so the nanny in the film, like obviously she was also like a parasite, if you want to think.
Yeah,
of,
she was. Yeah,
because she
So
hid
you
her
get that
husband
surprise as well. Yeah,
in a
Exactly.
secret basement in the
That
house.
that's a twist and a
Yeah.
half.
and you don't even
That was
expect that
incredible.
coming.
Yeah.
No, never expected that
When
at all.
when his head popped out, that was like,
Scary.
That was
Yeah.
proper freaky.
Kang Ho's son is his name.
Yeah,
He's
brilliant.
amazing.
Taxi driver,
'Cause he's-
host as well.
Yeah,
Brilliant
and
actor.
Memories of Murder.
Yeah, and member. Yeah, brilliant actor.
Because the lights flick above the stairs, don't
Yeah.
That's
they?
right.
That's it.
It was
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
Morse code that he
Yeah.
signals
That's
his
the Morse
wife
code.
who works
Yeah.
there to give him food or whatever.
But then when he's locked down there, he's trying to headbutt, isn't he?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's such a dumb one.
Such a good film.
But again, like throughout the whole
Wow.
thing, like I think we've talked about it before. There's always this element of funniness, but it's that dark humor. You're like,
Proper
are we
dark
meant to
humor.
laugh for this, or like, it's because it'd be a serious.
Yeah,
scene,
that's what I love about
yeah,
Korean.
it's amazing.
ones.
I love
They
the
do
way
that
they do
so
that.
well.
But yeah,
Like, yeah.
so the maid that was there, obviously his husband was there, hid in the basement, and the family didn't know. And obviously, when these family, the new parasites we call them, they get invaded. They don't know about that because the nanny's left.
The nanny was from the family that was before the current family, so she
right.
knew about that basement, didn't she?
That's right. Yeah, and she
Yeah.
kept it
She's
hidden.
kept it hidden from him because it's hidden behind like a cabinet in the.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes.
And she's been leaving her husband down there and bringing food down to him
Yeah.
and everything, and then
Basically
she
just
gets
been
booted
chilling
out by the new family doing the same sort of thing.
That's it. And then obviously she got kicked out.
But because it's such a slow, like you were saying, it's quite a slow start, and there's nothing too dramatic happening for quite a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That snowball effect at the end really ramps everything up, and you suddenly go,
100%.
"This is just gone
That's it.
Crazy.
to
And-
hell."
Got to a different level.
Like,
Yeah.
and near the end, I think,
Literally.
like a massacre happens, and what happens
Yeah.
at the family that was living there, the dad kind of kills people, and then he hides in the basement.
Yes.
And the cliffhanger is essentially like, is obviously, stuff.
Well, the twist, you mean?
The twist. sorry, the twist is where like he's in the house still, and the family's moved on,
Yeah.
and it's about the son of that the guy who's trapped in there. They show a montage of him building himself up, and
Because he wants to
he buys
wants
the house.
to get enough money to be able to buy the house that's got his
it.
father
Yes.
trapped in it.
That's it. And
That's
then
right.
and
Yeah, that's
eventually
right.
his dad
Yeah.
comes out, and then he hugs, and then it pans out of him, and then the shot comes down on him actually still scheming away. So is that?
Yeah.
So that's where the twist is. For me, I feel like that was a twist where. Or did that actually?
Or did it
It's
really
like what you
happen?
said before. Did that really happen? Or
Yeah.
it kind of leaves the audience to answer. Like, is that him imagining it, or is that going to happen, or has it happened?
Yeah.
So that's what I love about that film as well.
I really wish that was real. That'd been such a nice kind of like ending. Like, he came in, he became successful, and he earned enough money.
I
At the same
personally-
time, it's like saying, isn't it? It's really hard to do that. Maybe he didn't. Like, you couldn't do it. But yeah, it kind of leaves it open, doesn't it? It's really.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
It's one of those endings you can talk amongst your mates and be like, I reckon this happened.
Yeah.
This happened. So,
100%.
Cracking film.
Such
But
a good movie.
definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I remember because I remember Dave, right, and Gal would talk about this before it had the whole Oscar buzz, because you guys were going on about it. I think even a year before, it got nominated, or actually before.
Yeah,
the
because
ceremony
we
and stuff,
saw it a
'cause you
good
guys
6 months
were-
before it even came in
Yes.
this country. So
Yeah, and you were like, you had to see Parasite, and I was like, really, another zombie movie? And I was like, no. Exactly
and then
like you
he
said,
won the
totally.
Oscar.
it's such a misleading
so
title. It's what I love
misleading,
about it. It's just
Yeah.
So why
incredible.
did everyone have that
Incredible.
impression? Was it because of the
Paris?
trailer?
literally because the trailer. Like if you go back and watch the teaser trailer now, it comes off as just very horror-esque.
Yeah.
And there's
And-
Koreans known for
Yeah.
really good zombie films.
Yeah, it makes
Like
sense.
Train to Busan is one of the best
right.
zombie films.
Yes.
So I immediately thought that perhaps I was sick, another zombie film. Let's go. Sat there watching. I was like, what the hell's
hell is
going on?
this?
Like,
Yeah.
but it was amazing. Like not.
Yeah,
the-
and
the-
because that's that guy, and we talk about, I can't remember his name, Jung Ho So, whatever, what's his name? He did a movie called Thirst, which was him being a vampire.
Nice.
And have you ever seen it yet?
No.
So that's why I was kind of going across that. It was another sort of horror type movie as well. Another reason why, because they hired him for it. So, yeah. But I'm just glad it wasn't the case and it was completely different. And that's, it's not my, it probably made my top 10, but it is.
Yeah.
It's a very, very good choice on that one.
Not just that alone, like the cinematography, the scenes,
yeah.
It's the colors in it. It's amazing, like proper. Like I think one thing they do, not just the ending, like throughout the whole thing. I think I mentioned to you on the way. It's like they certain films they have to explain it to the audience, but these guys let the actors and let this actual scene just like you can see what let them decide what's going on, and I think they did that really, really well.
I think it's you connect with them a
more,
lot
yeah.
as well. It's
Yeah.
like even though, like Dave said, that they're kind of feeding off this rich family, you kind
Yeah.
of still
You
want
root
them
for them.
to
You
root
root-
for
yeah,
them,
yeah.
don't
Yeah.
you?
Me and you-
Yeah.
me and God
And then
saw
that
something
scene
like
where
that.
their house, their grunge house, their real house, gets flooded
Yeah.
halfway through. You feel big time for them. It's just
It's like he
And
gets
it's-
proper flooded, and
Yeah.
the next day
Yeah.
he's working and
Yeah.
he's driving.
Yeah.
And it's quite that iconic scene where there's the rich man in the back. It's like,
I can
what's
smell
that smell?
something.
Yeah,
Like, obviously
yeah.
he's been
you can smell
I feel
cabbage and
that-
whatnot.
Yeah.
So bad
Old
for
man
that.
cabbage.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
bad
damn
for that
water, and then
father.
that's
Yeah.
And thing is,
Exactly. Yeah.
and it does a really good shot of his face, and you can see what he's imagining, and you can almost relate because we're not well off, and you can all those higher ups and in our premium lanes when they come off, you can see that.
He doesn't like being
in our
talked to
lives.
like that, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, it's
So-
true because exactly like you said, Gareth, is that divide between the rich and the poor, right? So
In different classes.
huge
Yeah.
different classes, exactly, and you're kind of seeing that, and you kind of see how they live, and you're contrasting that with how these guys are living, and it's just like part of me was like looking at the family, the bit where she's going to the shopping mall and she's picking things up, and I was just like, that's sickening, because we're not used to that. We just go in and get the things that we need, but she was just pulling off everything, and then you kind of see that, and then at the end you see the true nature, it's all for themselves, no matter how much.
And like I mentioned earlier, that whole snowballing, the script, like you say, it starts off slow.
Yeah.
That's it's very well done because it doesn't lose you.
No.
It starts off slow, and it's like I like to think of it as like the snowball effect. So
Picks up.
it picks up and it gets past that point of no return where no one's stopping that rolling down
Yeah.
the mountain,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
only
yeah.
going to get worse and worse
Yes,
and worse and worse
that's
and
it.
worse, and
And
you're
you
just
just-
like sitting there and you are caught along with it
The ride, yeah.
in the ride. So it's a fantastic.
Yeah, it's definitely great when it has that effect on you because some I know a lot of people just not bother. If they were watching it at home,
What,
they would
because
just be
it's
like,
subtitled or because of the slow
no,
start?
literally because of the slow start.
Yeah.
Because even I at one point was like, this is getting to be like, I don't really see where this is going. But because it's it's Bong Joon-ho. You know it's going to go somewhere.
But as soon as they start getting in, like one or two family get in, then you're like, okay, you can see where this is going. And it starts clicking really well.
Definitely. Yeah, it takes a while to get,
Yeah.
but then when you're in there,
But it makes the impact at the ending where it ramps up and it speeds up
Right.
and it gets out of control, I think, a bit more
exciting,
impactful.
impactful. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Great.
Why is it only your 5?
I've done it so like the ones that the ones that are above it are meant more like more of a shock and more of oh my days sort of.
Why is it your fault?
No.
No, top 3.
Well, you haven't heard my top 3.
There we go. It's exactly. Go, cool. What's your number 5?
Right.
Say?
My number 5 is a movie again.
No.
You don't say. In fact, this is probably a movie from 1999 or maybe 98 actually.
Greatest year ever. 99 was such a great year for
How many
movies.
things get plugged into people's spines?
Interesting. Yeah, I had chills on my spine when I saw this. Right, and it's a movie. Okay, I'm going to say it's a Sixth Sense. And I'm going to mention that.
Yeah.
I tried my best, dude.
I did my best.
I think we couldn't not talk about it. Like I had to be like, guys, please let's. In fact, it's something we can all talk about now because it's one of those things. So I saw it at my uncle's house, and your original question,
yes.
the first time that got spoiled for you. That's what
Okay.
I was thinking. Titanic. Truth is, it was a Sixth Sense.
Was that a twist? Can I just ask, where was you going to go with that Titanic story? What was the twist for you in Titanic?
That the ship sank.
Lady.
he thought it was going to be a nice little cruise movie.
And it crashes. It's a bit. I don't know. It was a bit where maybe she threw the thing in the water, but then I thought, no, that's not a twist.
What?
I don't know. Sorry, I just
What's the matter with you?
Definitely. But The Sixth Sense. So that, for me, that was the first time I experienced like a twist.
Sure.
And at the end, when I saw that, and at the time when this movie came out, I must have been like 10 or 11 or something. And my uncle was like, just continue watching it. Keep on watching it. And then, oh my God. And it gets to you, especially the bit where, at the end, we can talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Spoiler. Okay, where they're waiting in the car. And then he looks left and apparently, there's an accident down the road. And most horrific scene. And you see the lady. And she's and she's all bloodied up and stuff. And you're thinking, what the fuck?
Do you remember the trailer for that film? That was the opening to that trailer.
Seriously?
Where she's like, it's a lady. She had an accident.
Oh,
So
wow.
where is she? I can't see her. And she goes, standing right next to me.
Oh my God.
And that was just like, it's such a good opening for a trailer. Because like my goosebumps, when I was like, ooh, that's so creepy.
No, I still haven't seen the film. Because I got ruined.
But you know it.
I
You
know
know
it.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
And one of my favorite scenes from that film, which they have random scenes.
You just said you've never seen it.
No, the scenes that got spoiled to me was, all the cupboards flip open. I think it might have been in the trailers.
Right.
I don't know.
Right, okay.
Like, I thought that was.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
And she comes back and all the covers are open.
Yeah, in the kitchen, all the cupboards are
I was
open.
like,
aren't they?
shit, and then I found out. Yeah.
Used in Paranormal Activity hundreds of times.
100.
Boring. Anyway, move on.
Yeah. So that was the first time I experienced a twist, and when I saw that at the end of the movie, I was like, "Whoa!" And it's one of those things where it got ramped up. And then again, with another question: you rewatch the movie, and then you notice it. You're trying to place Bruce Willis, and you're thinking, because I remember watching that, thinking he's a very solitary guy. He doesn't hang out with people. He doesn't really. I think there's a few scenes where he tries to.
There are scenes where literally the scene starts with him sitting opposite the mother. And you look back at it, and she doesn't look at him once.
Doesn't look at him once. Yeah, and
I just love that because I was like, I never noticed it till the second time watching it, of course. But
it's great.
You have to go back. Now that you know he's dead, you look for things like, did he really talk to her?
Absolutely.
Do they shake hands? Do they touch one another? Whatnot?
They don't.
Does he walk through walls?
Nothing like that.
What
it's
about
all
the
played out. Like
vapors? I swear there's a bit with the vapors. You can see his vapors at the beginning or something, and you know he's dead.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
Is that
like he's breathing.
the beginning? Yeah.
I remember like if a ghost is present in a room, it gets colder or something, doesn't it? I don't read the ins and outs. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, but
right.
Something with the vapors kicking in for me. Not
because every time, before Haley Osment sees one, you can see his moisture, can't you? It's like
there's a scene.
But I never noticed that before.
Apparently,
Go back and do that.
Yeah.
Same. I don't know if that was the first time that a twist had become so iconic in cult. Because a lot of people, they parodied that And like, you know, I kind of like, I see dead people.
I can see where you're coming from, because I have to say that was probably one of the biggest ones that come out since Empire.
Yes, since
that
Empire.
or most talked about.
Yeah,
you know, because obviously there was other ones before this, but never really.
Because you did not see that coming.
And like you said, it got parodied a lot as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say it'd be the one that put M. Night Shyamalan.
And it's 99 as well.
Definitely. And it was 99.
It's like what he's
great year.
Exactly, yeah. It put, like you said, you put M. Night on the map and famous for that kind of thing, you know. So
if you think M. Night, you think Sixth Sense. So.
Exactly. Yeah. Great movie.
What a twist! Even though I haven't seen it, I know the twist.
Damn. Yeah. Nice. So we do the number 4s now.
Yes, please.
Number 4.
So Dave, yours is taken. Yours was taken.
Yeah, mine's Parasite.
Was Parasite, right? So my number 4. Sorry, Big Gal, because I know it's in yours, but you took it from me, in all fairness. Mine is a David Fincher movie called The Game.
How did you know it's on my list?
Because I saw it on the list.
Damn it. Okay, we can talk about
What number is it?
It's my 4th.
Oh, it's your 4th, right? So anyone who knows David Fincher, he's basically the man who was famously known for making movies such as Seven, Fight Club, Panic Room, Alien 3, and this was his 3rd movie. So this is straight off the bat after Seven. So Seven was, even though he made Alien 3, Seven was the movie that put David Fincher on the map. You know, this is the guy that puts twists at the end of his movie, sort of before the whole M. Night Shyamalan era, wasn't it, sort of thing?
Yeah.
But with The Game, it was very, very odd, because it was a big movie, had a big star in it, was funded by a big movie company, but was barely released anywhere.
I didn't hear about it.
No one knew of this movie
until
it was like made. You know, it got out through VHS at the time. There wasn't any DVDs. This movie came out in 95, 96. Right. And have you seen it, Gokul?
Do you know something? I kid you not, I'm not saying this for the podcast. I only found out about it a few weeks ago, on Netflix, because it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the bit at the bottom which describes it. It's like David Fincher. Oh, David Fincher?
Yeah.
He made this? You know? And I was like, oh, shit, need to see this.
Yeah,
but
so
I didn't get around to it. But
going back to when we used to do movie marathons, Gal was like, I've never seen this movie, So I was like, okay, come around mine. We did like a whole day, like movie twist sort of thing, right? And when I think that was the first one we watched, and you were just like mind blown at the ending. I won't go into it too much, because if you haven't watched it, then have you seen it? Then?
Go for it.
Right. Then no, because you need to see this ending. You need to experience this ending.
Okay.
And I don't want to be that guy that changed it. But anyway, the whole premise of the movie is about Michael Douglas. And Michael Douglas is a big, rich guy. He's got like his own little mansion. He's like, you know, it's been passed down through family generations, inheritance and whatnot. He kind of lives on his own. He's got this old lady as like a little butler sort of thing, and he's like the modern day Scrooge. He is a cunt, big time. He is an absolute arsehole to everyone, who's colleagues, family members, everything. He's that guy who will not, you know, even though you're related to him and you can I borrow $5? No, you go out and you earn that $5. You know, he is an absolute arsehole. Comes across his brother, played by Sean Penn, who's kind of the opposite to him. He's like a criminal, or he's got a criminal background to him, whatnot, sort of thing.
It's a bit weird. Well, you think he does.
Yeah, so it's coming up to Michael Douglas's birthday.
Complete opposite to him, basically.
Yeah, he's the opposite to his brother. He says, look, I'm going to give you the best birthday present you'll ever have. And Michael Douglas is that guy who's like, well, I have everything. What could be this birthday present? And it's simply like just a little envelope, like, go see this company. They will provide you with a game. You're going to play this game. You don't know when you're going to play it, but you're going to play it. But in order to apply for this game, you have to go through medicals and medical backgrounds and mental health backgrounds, all this sort of stuff. And they flat out say to him, look, you're not able to play this game. You're either too old or your blood pressure is too high. I can't remember what it says. Anyway, he goes home and then shit starts to happen. And I don't want to say what it is because, again, please watch it. And how you think it's, you know, is this a game? Is this part of the act? And then his brother is like sort of crossed in the line with it as well. He's like, oh, I shouldn't have given this to you. Now I'm in trouble. There's people trying to kill me, all this sort of stuff. So much happens. You question it the whole way through. Right. And I even got to a point where this cannot be a game now. This is like, you know, more than just a game now. This is like some deeper shit. And then when you get to the ending, it's just like, wow. that was worth the ride, because it's like Parasite. You think about it, it is
a
very
little
slow,
bit,
isn't it?
Yes.
Slowish, yeah.
It's typical David Fincher slow, and it pays off so well. And I cannot recommend this movie enough. Hence why I've not spoiled it for anyone, because you need to watch it. If it is, like I said, on Netflix, Amazon, please, I implore you to give it a go.
Wow.
Big Gal, why is it on your list?
And now he's going to spoil it for us.
No. I'm actually glad you
Here it
haven't
comes.
seen it, and we don't have to, because part of the film, if we do ruin it, is pointless seeing it. And I'm glad there's someone here who hasn't seen it. Go and watch it.
Thank
It's everything like Ant said. When I first watched it, I was just like, what the fuck? No, surely. What? It was literally like that. And throughout that whole day, I was just thinking about it. Oh my God, man, what an amazing film. And I still can't believe it's not main. Like, it's like no one knows about it.
So no one knows. It's like a big Michael Douglas film.
Yeah.
How does no one fucking know about this movie?
It's, like,
It's
even when I
unreal.
brought it out, and even I was like, why have I not seen this? It's just like unheard. But please,
It's on my list now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
trust me.
As I say, as soon as you hear the word David Fincher, Seven,
Right.
Fight Club,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Curious Case of Benjamin Button. No one thinks of the game. No one thinks of the game. And it's just so weird how it's one of his best. I think there are times I think it is better than Seven.
Yeah.
But they are two different movies. One's a thriller. One's like, is this or is this not sort of movie? And it's just.
I'm so glad you got me to watch it, because it's on my list. That's how good it is.
Like I said, we watched even more plot twist movies that day.
Right.
The whole thing that stuck with him.
That's the
Even though there were other movies that were probably better than that, or a better twist in my opinion sometimes, but he was like, nah, the game was that movie of the day.
Check it out, guys.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's actually amazing. I think I would like to talk more. Like, it's so good that you don't have to.
When you watch it, we'll talk more. I mean, it's one of those films I want to sit with you guys now and see your reaction.
Now I see where you're coming from. When you just love to see their reaction. Oh, man.
Well, me and Dave got that on the list now, haven't you, Dave? You put
It's
that
on my
right?
list.
Yeah,
Nice.
So we're going to have to
Excellent.
watch that. And
You guys got homework.
Exactly. So
So that's my.
So that's my 4. That's your 4.
nice.
Your 4's taken, Dave. So go.
Right.
What's your number 4?
Right, my number 4. Again, this is the last movie from this director on my list. Again, it's another M. Night Shyamalan movie. But this one, honestly, like, out of all of the movies he's done, the ending for this, like, for some reason, it really got to me. Like, I didn't see that coming, but I was just like, whoa. And it's a movie, not, again, one of his movies, a bit like The Game, that he hasn't really heard of much. It's a movie called The Village.
Yeah, I knew it.
Yes.
Sick.
Oh,
Do you know that was the first one where everyone started to hate M. Night Shyamalan?
Why though? I
was
didn't get that.
thinking-
Why?
I heard about that, and I was like, I don't
Because again,
Yeah.
the movie trailer was hyping up so much to be this massive horror film. Like, people wanted to see the monsters. Like, I'm sure Gokul's going to explain it in a second.
Oh, yeah.
But that was one of the reasons why I saw it. It didn't affect me as much as a movie, because the ending, if you think about it, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
But so many people were hyped. It's because he did The Signs before this.
Yes.
And that was, based on aliens and whatnot. We got to see aliens in that movie.
So this one,
Whereas in this
yeah.
one, Gokul, please explain why.
Oh my goodness. Dave, have you seen it?
I have seen it.
You have? Yes, thank you. I'm so happy. Okay, I didn't want to spoil it. So, in this movie, you're led to believe that this is a period drama. Is it called a period drama? Is that
I would
right?
say so,
Describe that, isn't it? So it happens maybe during Victorian times or just after that. I don't know. Yeah.
1800s, I will say.
1800s
maybe.
around that time.
I'll
Yeah.
say
So
that.
yeah, exactly. So you look at the clothes they dress and just the lack of technology, just everything. You're made to believe that this movie is set in that period, and you're thinking. And to be honest, like when I saw that, it's not my kind of movie. I can't really get into that.
I can see why people. I think
Exactly. Yeah.
because it's kind of like boring, and I think they do something where there's something them.
Right.
The
So basically what happens in that movie is, long story short, it's like a communion, right, in the middle of the forest. And they all live together. They're basically just living together. And in a sense, you feel like they're closed off from the rest of the world. You're made to... you don't think that. You think that, it's just normal, whatever.
You think there's a whole world out there.
Yeah.
But these guys are just there.
They're just
in that
there.
village area.
Exactly. And, they do this whole thing. They have their own, like, council and, like, everything. And, you've got, like, the leader of this communion and stuff like that and whatever. And they have, like, a wedding. And there's, like, a few of these, like, there's characters in that stick out. There's one guy who has this disability and something happens during the wedding which forces, someone to go out and get the medicine. right, for that person. And but then what stops, this is why it's called the village, because one of the barriers to the village, what stops, like, gets people scared, is that there's a supposed monster or this creature out there. It's a bit like what Anna was saying.
Creatures, isn't it?
Creatures, yeah.
There's more than one out there.
Exactly.
Anyway.
There's a few, and this movie is building and building and building, and you're really intrigued by it, because you know, in your head you're still thinking, you know, this is back in the 1800s and stuff like that, and it just plays like an old school horror movie. It plays like that. You know, this movie's kind of already been done before, the way it's all done, and you know, she's trying to go get this medicine, she's making it out, and then all of a sudden, like, it starts when a chest is open and you see this photograph, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that looks like they're wearing all modern day clothes and stuff like that. And the next thing you know, like, towards the end of the movie, and I've rewatched this on YouTube because I just love that bit where it cuts out and then you see a camera of a Jeep, like just something moving, right? And the next thing you know is a park ranger, and you're thinking, hold on, is
Played by...
Oh wait, who's it played by?
M. Night Shyamalan.
Yes, of course it is. He has to make a cameo. This guy.
Here he does. Yeah.
Very,
very Hitchcock.
You're
That
going
is.
to put it in.
Very
You're going to put yourself in. aren't you?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And next thing you know, they're talking about there being a no-fly zone in this area, and you're like, "What the fuck? This is happening right now. Like, as we speak, the whole area is closed off. They're in there, you know." And the story reveals that these are a group of almost, like, in a sense, like, lost from society, and they decided to come together and build their own communion and just forget about modern day life and just live the simple times. I know, I found that so beautiful.
Quite deep, yeah.
You know, it was so deep. At the same time, what kind of flipped me, it was like getting hit by a strong wave when you're out on the beach. It's like you don't see it coming.
Sure.
You know, and it's like, and I've spoken to a lot of people about that. I know I haven't spoken to you guys about that, but I just, that ending. And it's one of those movies where I've, like, when I have, like, friends or, like, family over to my house, I sit down and I make them watch this movie and just see their reaction when it happens. And it's just kind of like...
It's definitely one of these films that make more sense the more you watch it.
Yeah.
Especially the ending. It's just... it's such a shame, because I remember seeing that on opening night. And
yes. Did you go see it?
I think I took the wife to see it, and we were just like, not just me, but there were other people in that cinema that were gripped on certain scenes. Like, where I think there's a part where the monsters raid the village at one point, and they all hide under their basements and all that sort of thing. Yeah. Because of the colours. Did you talk about the colours?
Yeah, I didn't mention that, actually. No, go on, Anne.
So yellow is the colour of the village, isn't it? And red is the colour of the monsters. If they see red marked on the door, the monsters come and attack it, don't they? Sort of thing. Yes. They're like attracted to it, aren't they?
Yeah.
And there are parts where the main protagonist, she's blind, isn't she?
Yes.
There's a part where she's hiding behind a house, and in the background you can see a monster coming towards the camera, and there were people behind me like, he's gonna go,
right.
And then it's just such a shame how when the ending happened, everyone was like, oh, it's fucking stupid. No. Just
how?
Why? I mean,
Why?
It's not that bad. It could have been a lot worse at the end of the day. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just
Can I ask, guys, you know, the girl, does she come in contact with a park ranger? Does she kind of...
with M. Night.
With M. Night? Does she
over the
realise reality?
fence.
She
No.
climbs over, but what makes it special is because she's blind. So even if she was to or whatever, she wouldn't be able to perceive it as being the modern day or whatever. But I know somehow that would have been quite interesting if she did. I know.
I swear she does climb over the fence, right? Or is it just me just making...
I can't remember. It's been a while since I watched it. So.
I feel like she does, yeah.
I
It's been a
swear
while
she
since I've
jumps
seen it.
over, yeah.
Forget the Joker's in the movie as well. Oh, Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, yeah. He's the kid.
Oh, yeah, shit,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Badass motherfucker.
But yeah, that's a good twist in that movie, man.
That's a good choice. I didn't see that coming.
Was it, you actually
What a twist in the twist episode.
you see the aeroplane as well at the end.
Representing the Asian
you don't.
directors,
Exactly. He's like, get in there. Yeah.
This is favourite. If you have top 5 directors,
I
He's
thought
probably
Christopher
one of my
Nolan would have been his
favourites.
number one.
Yeah, well, he's definitely my number one.
Oh, there you go.
Between him and Tarantino. That's
Nice.
what about
tough call.
What about the other one?
Which one?
The one that Godzilla.
Oh, Gareth Evans.
Yeah.
He's in there as well, but he's still got more movies to make, you know. So
He hasn't got a library of movies as those two yet. So
exactly,
it's not up to those standards.
yeah.
He's
But he
basically
will get
not
there.
Asian. That's what
He will
he's
get
trying
there.
to say.
Let's just go to number 3 then.
Yay.
Number 3.
Dave, has your number 3 been taken yet?
No.
Right, let's have it, sir.
Nice. Although it's probably going to be on Gal's list.
Go on, I'm ready.
Sucker.
It is Shutter Island.
Nice.
That's my number 2.
Yes, good choice. Dave. Good choice.
So not your number 3. Your Dave's number 3
My
and
number
Gal's number 2.
Yeah.
Right.
Beautiful.
it's a fantastic movie,
Totally agree.
and so it's DiCaprio, isn't it?
Yeah, Leonardo.
that's
Amazing.
it.
Leonardo DiCaprio, and he's investigating on the island, isn't he? That's
right.
Which is a sort
It
of
literally opens up with that, doesn't it? He's travelling to the
He's
island.
travelling to the island to investigate, and he's trying to find a killer, isn't he? Or he's trying to find
Someone's escaped the island, or tried to
Yeah.
escape the island, isn't
Asylum,
he?
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
and also at the time he's trying to investigate other people, isn't he?
He's trying to investigate
Yeah,
the asylum.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
something
trying to
else
investigate.
comes across, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yep.
and the whole way through that movie, you're just thinking it's going to be like this sort of
Detective
drama.
Yep.
Like he's going to unravel the whole thing.
And he's going to unravel it, and
right.
you're fully sort of. Well, I don't know if anyone else.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah.
No, I was so suckered by it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
proper. He
Yeah,
got me.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Because
if
I-
anyone saw it from the beginning and
Yeah.
just tell me, they clocked onto it straight away. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
But it's again, it's going back to those ones where you know the ending. If you go back and watch it,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it makes
there are
sense.
certain parts where they make eye contact and nod with one another.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
But Dave,
Yeah.
obviously he's
well,
going to explain that in a second.
Well, what and again, we've all seen it, haven't we? So it's
Yeah.
not a spoiler.
Yeah,
for
no,
any
I've
of
seen
us.
it.
Yeah,
I've
we-
seen it.
So Ant's just hinted at it. Then the big sort of twist in this one is that it turns out that he's not a detective in any shape or form.
That's right.
He's actually in the asylum.
So he's an actual patient.
He's
from
a
these
patient. And they're all sort of using it. They're letting him sort of play out a fantasy, aren't they?
Yeah.
And
Almost tried to cure him. Man.
to try.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to make him admit or remember what he's done.
That's it. Yeah, yeah.
That's led
Right.
him to the asylum.
Yep.
So the whole thing was like some like mindfuck sort of.
It's like one big play, isn't it? They're
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
act
So
it out all over again, aren't
They're
they?
hoping that he's gonna doing that he's gonna
Come out of it.
he's
cure
by
himself.
investigating it he's gonna expose to himself or real and come to that point where he realizes that he didn't he drown was it his wife? He
Yeah.
drowned his
So-
wife or something.
because his
Yeah.
wife
the
drowned
kids
his
as well.
kids.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Yep.
So and so that just came out of nowhere for me. So when we're talking good
That's
twist things,
Like-
because
Like
Yeah.
Randy Orton from
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
I just and then it's one of those for me. It was one of those moments where it's
Yeah.
just pick your jaw up off the floor.
Absolutely.
Totally
What?
agree.
And like Ant
Yeah.
says, you
Yeah.
can go back again and re-watch that movie
Genius.
and get a different experience that's no less cheapened for it
Absolutely.
by looking at it because you're going, oh yeah.
Yeah, because
That makes sense
not
now,
long
yeah.
ago, me and my wife actually, because we hadn't seen this in the cinema, and I was like, I'd love to go back and watch that because
Yeah.
obviously we knew the ending.
Yeah.
We were like trying to figure out, look, did he just wink at him?
Yeah,
Did he? Is he not? Why is he nodding at him? I was like,
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
you remember the ending? It's like, oh yeah, of course, yeah. So, but no, it's definitely
But it's got to be done. So things like that, which are really good because it means you can enjoy it another way when you
Exactly.
watch it.
Go back and
They've got
rewatching
to
it.
be subtle enough or innocuous enough that when you watch it for the first time, you don't pick up on it going, hang on a minute, why is he winking? Does that mean? And then ruins the ending.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
quite, it's just a fantastic, that I love it because it was such a surprise. to
yeah,
me.
absolutely.
Yes.
And again, I know I've said this a couple of times with the films that we've done, but that movie was advertised as a horror as well.
Yeah.
But then when people clocked on that it was a movie directed by Martin Scorsese, we know that he doesn't do horror movies.
Yeah.
So, but for the average movie person that doesn't know who Martin Scorsese is, whatnot,
Yeah.
I think to a degree it was misled for them.
I see.
So I'm not sure if they had the same experience as we did, like really enjoyed it, because I think they were expecting something else, like a horror movie, murder mystery sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just love the fact that it flipped it
Yeah.
over, done a 180, and it's like, no, this is what the movie is, and this is how we're going to end it. And I never saw that come in, to be honest.
100%. Because it all
But
happened.
you can't advertise a movie as being, it's got a twist in the
Exactly.
No, of course
That's
not.
the-
Yeah, of course
right,
not. No,
right.
no.
Then people will start looking
Yeah.
for it, you know?
Yeah.
But I just wasn't expecting
Yeah.
the twist full stop.
Yeah.
And then when there's that scene of Ben Kingsley sitting there going, "It's like, what's the matter, baby?" And I'm like, "Oh no way!
Yeah.
Oh shit, son!
Like, I think
Here comes the twist! Yes."
even in the beginning, he keeps talking about his migraine, or he's got some sort of
Headache,
headache.
right?
Yes.
And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
he's still popping pills, and that's
Yes.
what Mark Ruffalo does a good job in the film as
Oh,
well. Next
he's
to him
awesome. I
as his
totally forget
partner.
he's in that movie.
Yeah.
And
Plays
I think-
the-
I
his
think
partner, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
Plays
I
the
swear he
partner.
keeps giving
Yeah.
him pills, and he keeps asking him some question.
Yeah.
And it kind of hints that he is he's kind of patient.
And the smoking as well is
right.
constant as well.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah.
And my favorite bit is when at the end where he kind of realized. I think this is where the debate. I think is there's a debate at the end where I think he kind of has cured himself and he's realized what he's done.
Right.
But I think he chooses to stay in the asylum
Yeah.
because if they have cured him, then I think he can come out of the asylum or come out of not that asylum. He can come out and be like normal.
Yeah.
But I think he chooses.
Yeah, because
to-
wasn't there
back
different
to the world? Yeah.
different pens in that island? Like you had a worse case,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
people that pretty much no, they're gone.
right.
Their insanity is way too gone to come back to normality, sort of thing.
Yes.
But it baffles me that how watching a movie like this, how the human mind makes you think that I've had this past, I've completely blanked this past.
Yeah.
Now I am essentially a copper. Now I am this person that is.
Absolutely.
Trying to solve this mystery,
Yeah.
but how have you forgotten? Like something's happened to you so deeply in your life that it's gone now. I have this new personality. It's insane. It's crazy
really
how
is.
the human mind works like that.
It's so true because it plays on your mind as well. It makes you think, "Oh, am I kind of like you think of that?
It's
Is it
it's
really
like
affecting you
something's
as well?
happened
Yeah.
so bad you force yourself to forget.
Forget
about
about
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what he's done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Basically.
Because that's where he's like the mind does that, especially through periods of trauma and stuff. It
Yeah, you
purposefully
repress things,
tries
yeah,
to
to
regress
protect
it.
you.
It's
doesn't
like
it?
if you're stressing
Yes.
out or something,
Exactly.
you automatically do something to forget that
To forget
stress,
it.
aren't you?
Exactly.
Play a game or something,
Yeah.
pop on the movie. That's essentially what his mind does.
That's what his mind does. Come to think, there's a scene also where he's in like almost like a concentration camp as well, isn't it? So he's
having flashbacks of his military,
his military life
his
as
military
well.
background, wasn't it?
Right,
Yeah,
so that kind of adds to that, and it's this whole kind of like PTSD.
yeah,
of
and
thing
absolutely,
with
yeah,
that as well.
I completely
So
forgot about that
interesting.
part as well. Yeah, he
I was
does
like,
do
'cause I
that.
remember thinking, is that
There's like a
you know,
scene
but
where
that
he's
makes sense
shooting
where-
the Nazis and stuff, isn't he?
Yeah, and he sees like all the bodies and stuff, and it's crazy. He sees all like the prisoners in a camp, most horrific thing you can ever see, and to come home
and then come home and have an even horrific thing happen
Thing
to you.
on top of that.
Literally, like
Yeah.
that's it. That makes you this person you are
flips.
now. Oh mate,
Yeah.
I can't imagine going through something like that. It's just
horrific.
insane.
Exactly.
It's, it's one of my
Yeah.
favorite film of all time. Not just
I can see that.
Really? You
Yeah.
never told me that.
It is up
Okay.
there. Thing is,
And I had to remind him
Yeah.
about it.
No, honestly, he did. I completely gone over my head. Like I remember
forgot
watching
about
it,
it. Yeah.
and I was like, "This is like even Little G." We were watching a Little G, and I was like, "This is brilliant." And we were talking about it days after. Oh my god, man! How the hell? It's just genius to whoever come up with the script or the idea is genius. It's genius. I just love the whole island and the whole the setup they've done for him, and brilliant
Genius.
film.
But it's that interesting, again, it's looking into the mind and stuff
Yeah.
like that's always interesting,
It's
isn't it?
so interesting, definitely, because you can kind of perceive it as
Well,
being,
everyone's probably come up against varying lesser forms of things like that in people.
Right.
I always think there's certain people that you come across who just don't get on with people. They don't seem to have any friends, and yet you think, how can you be like that? How can you be hated by so many people or just so obnoxious?
Yeah.
And it's because probably in their mind,
That's
they're
Don't
just
see it.
doing these gymnastics where it's like it's not their problem or something like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'm going to go off on a little John rant, sideline. So shut me down if you want.
Go for it, sir.
So when I went on my first week of university, I did a skydive.
No way.
Right? And
Whoa.
for 6 months.
Is there anything that you haven't done?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
But anyway, it was six months we had it planned for.
Wow.
And then it got pushed back in because of weather to the first week of uni. So I went to uni, got caught up in all that mental stuff, and then
Freshers
went
week.
home
Yeah.
for a day. And then they came back and but it was bizarre because I was shitting myself
I don't blame you.
on the way up and the build up the day before we went out clubbing, and I thought this might be my last time clubbing.
I might die tomorrow.
And there was a woman passed out in her own sick in the gutter outside, and we helped her that whole night, trying to get her home because none of the taxis would take her. Because I thought this might be my last chance. This so good. I got to balance the books. But what was weird, after all that build up, I did it, and then the next day I woke up and I had some toast, and I was like, And I was like,
why am I laughing at that? I love that. It's just the way he said it. I had some toast.
I woke up and I had some toast and I'm sitting there.
Stop saying it.
No, because it's important, because I'm sitting there in normality. And then
Like
I was
it never
thinking,
happened.
did I do that?
Whoa, okay.
Because I've got no video of it,
Yeah.
because that was more expensive. And I was like, did I do it?
Do you not have that still? Probably the adrenaline.
Yeah,
run
no,
out,
I believe it. But it's like you
Yeah.
were saying with this film, he believes that he was a detective.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
So
reversing that.
it's
yeah.
weird, like,
That's
because
true.
I feel like sometimes I sit there and you see
you
some
actually
video
do it?
and you think, oh, I couldn't do that. Oh wait, I did.
I did. Yeah.
Because
I
that was
see.
like years ago now.
Yeah.
And it's bizarre because I remember sitting there that morning eating toast, thinking nothing's changed, and I'm pretty
You're
sure
alive,
I did
though.
it. I'm pretty sure I did it, but it might not have happened. What if
Yeah.
I just tricked myself
What
into
if-
thinking?
To believe it.
What if I got there and I cried like a big baby, and it was so traumatic, and my friends all made fun of me and laughed at me, and I came home and I did that in my head. I was like, to protect myself. Oh yeah, I did it, guys. I remember it.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's weird. Anyway,
So, I want to ask you a question to you guys about that Shutter Island. So, do you think that there is another twist on top of the twist, like the very, very end? Do you remember at all?
Yeah, what is that when Mark Ruffalo's talking to him like, look, this is your chance to fight. Live.
No. So, so basically, the twist that Leonardo gets, he comes back to it and reveals that this is what's happened. But it's at the very, very end when he goes to Mark Ruffalo and he's like, "We got him, Johnny. We're gonna get him." So essentially, it's gone back to square one again.
Yeah.
And Mark Ruffalo he looks at Ben Kingsley and he shakes his head. It's like, no, it hasn't worked.
Yeah.
Would you say that's another twist on top of that, or would you just be like, the big twist was enough? Because you think to yourself, all of that you've gone through in that movie, and to find out it still didn't work is quite a twist, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
I think the twist is that main thing. I
Yeah.
think that's how he's dealing with the twist. Is he's more happy to be completely oblivious in his little fantasy
And stay. Yeah.
Yeah,
rather than facing it.
I
it's like
still
a
think
protective thing.
he's
Yeah.
cured, but I think he's just not revealing it. And
I don't think he is,
You know,
because it's like you said, he goes back to square one again. He still thinks he's that copper again.
or is he?
Well, this is it.
But why would he? Why would he
Because
say?
he can't. He's still having nightmares about it. He's just like, yeah, still can't forget about it.
I think he's gone back. I think they realise he's gone to that. It's me saying about the different pens in the place. I think he's going to go to that last ward now, because
the madhouse.
he's gone too far. There's no way. He still thinks he's this person. There's no curing him at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because if you think about that, what they go through in that movie, some extreme measures to try and get that guy cured.
Yeah.
And the fact that at the end it's like is all through that, it hasn't worked. To me, I thought that was just
It was
another icing on the cake of that one. No, I thought that was another good twist. But no, again, it's
You felt deflated when you saw that, actually, because when they shook their head and then you were like, oh.
and you're like, oh, really? Fuck.
Yeah. Totally.
That was my favorite bit. But
Yeah.
I would like to believe he made a choice to say.
Yeah, again, everyone's got their own opinion, isn't it?
That's interesting.
I'm just interested to see if you guys had the same idea of it or not, or if you remembered it or not.
It sounds like it would have a twist in it. I see now you mentioned. Yeah. I need to rewatch that.
So that was your 3?
Yeah.
That was your 2?
No, that was my. Sorry. Let me double check. That was my 2.
Right, okay. So my number 3, I definitely know this isn't in your lists, and I don't know if you've seen it. It is Stephen King's The Mist.
Oh, okay.
I've seen half of it.
Anyone seen it?
No, I haven't.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Was this before or
Right.
after the thing?
The Thing?
Oh, sorry. No. I'm thinking of The Fog. Sorry.
No, The Mist.
Sorry.
The Mist. Stephen King's The Mist. Came out in 2006, starring Thomas Jane.
No, I haven't.
No. So basically...
I've seen half of it.
So I hope you don't mind, but this is a movie twist. I have to tell you what happens because it is so
Go for it.
shocking as a twist. Okay? So the basic premise of the movie is that at the beginning of the movie, a storm's happened. Some guy, Tom James, he's painting. He's a painter, whatnot, and a storm happens. Next day, it's like the whole place is covered in shit, it's like Hurricane Sandy had hit again, whatnot. So they go. So he goes and takes his son with him to like a supermarket. It's like a massive, Sainsbury's, Tesco's, whatever sort of thing. And all of a sudden, once he's at the checkout, this massive fog, i.e. the mist, shows up, and it is like you can't even see through this. Okay, people start leaving and because everyone's like, oh, what's going on? It's quite scary. When people start to leave the building, they don't come back. They essentially are just either disappearing or they're dead. No one knows yet. Later on in the movie, we figure out that one of the people that work in there goes into the back of the store and opens the door. And very cleverly, I don't know how they do this, but the mist doesn't actually go inside to the building. It stays outside within this massive gateway door. And they look inside and like, we want to see if we can get out and go out and get some help. We're stranded in this store. And all of a sudden, this massive tentacle with spikes comes out and it starts attacking this person, whatnot. Wow. All sorts of things happen. And, it's essentially a movie that you're isolated in this one area. You can't go out. But they have to get out somehow. They've got to do something. So even more and more people leave and, other monsters pop up. All these different things pop up. There's even a scene where it comes to nighttime. And you know how a moth is attracted to light? Right. So obviously they've all got lights in this shop. And these massive looking things are like half moth with a wasp sort of looking thing. And they get attracted to light. So they're all going crazy, going mental, whatever. And they get in and again, people are just... it's quite a horrific, theme to it.
Sick.
Yeah, there's more to it. I mean, I'll let you borrow it. There's more and more to it. But again, there's it all goes into like questioning religion and all this sort of stuff. Is God punishing us? Anyway, long story short, Thomas Jane escapes with his son at the end, and he's got a couple of people with him, whatnot. And there's all these other monsters trying to kill him as they're escaping, but they escape regardless. So at the very, very end, they're just driving. Now, the whole world has been covered by this mist, and it is covered this world with, look like some sort of extraterrestrial sort of secretion all over the place, and webbings and all this sort of stuff. Like, the world is different now. It is like these creatures have taken over the world. Anyway, the car runs out of petrol, and they can't go anywhere. They're essentially stranded, because if they leave this car, they're going to die. Simple as. So this is where the twist comes in, and it's quite horrific, okay? So
excited to hear this.
Thomas Jane has a gun on him, all right? And there's 5 people in the car, but only 4 bullets. And they all look at him as to say, we're going to die regardless. Let's just look at, they all look at him as to say, do it. Shoot us, because we're going to die anyway. One of them is his kid, is his son.
Oh, shit.
So he shoots, there's 2 old people, so he shoots the 2 old people, and someone else is with him. And then the last shot, his son is asleep, and he wakes up to look at his dad, and his dad's got the gun right by his head, shoots his son.
What the fuck?
So he's literally, because he doesn't have any bullets left, Thomas Jane is the last person alive. So he's there like, and he's hitting himself in the head. He's gone mental because, I've just shot my son. I've shot these other people. Yeah. I'm alone now. I've got nothing to kill myself. He even gets the gun and starts trying to shoot himself, but he's out of bullets. And it's just, mate, it's really, really harsh. Right. Then all of a sudden he gets out of his car and the military show up to save him.
Are you kidding me?
If he had waited just literally minutes... they would have all been rescued, and he's just shot his son. It is the most brutal, shocking ending ever. Wow. It is harsh, mate. And it's literally the ending is just him shouting up at the sky, screaming, and these military guys are trying to help him and whatnot. It's crazy. Just, my God, it was one of those endings I never saw coming, because the movie it grips you, it keeps you watching, but that ending you just didn't know how it was going to end. And the way they all see the gun and look at him is to say, do it. Because we're cream cracker, basically. But it's just when his son wakes up and looks at the camera, because obviously you're seeing it from Thomas Jane's perspective, and he is scared. And then bang, 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 bang. Wow. And then tries to kill himself but can't. Just to make it, literally gets out of the car, because it's like there's like this big, massive rope. It sounds like the T-Rex is coming from Jurassic Park. So he's ready to take it on. Come on, kill me, come on. And then the mist, evaporates, and the military come and save him. It's like, oh my God, it is brutal. I mean, still watch it. There's so much there is so much I've missed out. So still watch it. But obviously, the ending now. But it's one of those endings you can't not say about.
Did they make a TV series of?
Yeah. So the TV series was rubbish. It had a good concept to it, but there's no way they could have. It was totally different to the movie. It's like stuff happens in the film that doesn't follow in the TV series. It doesn't make sense. The movie made sense. So don't worry. Just if you want to borrow a movie, I highly recommend you watch it.
Cool.
Oh, mate, definitely.
That's it. That's added to the list.
Yeah, number 3. That was my number 3. Go to.
My number 3 is another Korean film.
Korea.
It was released in 2004.
Here we go. It's my number 1.
Is it?
Yep, go for it.
Oh, sorry, dude. It's the Old Boy.
Yes, my number 1.
Oh, no. I'm so happy that this got mentioned.
Have you seen it, Old Boy?
No.
Okay.
No. You know, I don't watch many Korean films.
Goku, you've seen it, right?
I have seen it, yeah. But I can understand, like, Dave, in the sense that I wouldn't think of watching
See,
this,
now...
until someone forced
I don't
me.
think this is one... Because Dave hasn't seen it, you shouldn't say the ending. Because
I'll leave the room.
it shocked me too much to be my number 1.
Right.
Honestly, it's
It's
like...
really good.
All right, let's ask you the question, Dave. Are you going to watch it now that we mentioned it?
If you sell it to me, yeah.
Dude, we can more than sell it to you. If you had said, like...
Great movie.
Like, I wouldn't compare it to Blade Runner, like, as in, that's how an effect, like, it has the plot twist. Like, if, you know, where you're talking about replicas,
Yeah.
Kind of like that, but more like, what the fuck sort of thing.
Yeah.
Literally, what the fuck. You're going to be like,
Well, you guys talk about it.
Yeah.
I'll sit here with my fingers in my ears.
No, let's not mention the ending, because I'd like him to watch it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But it's your
So-
number 1.
It's his number 3, so he has to start.
basically, it's got a cracking action. You're not listening. I'm not going to spoil it.
No, come on.
I won't spoil it. I won't do that. It's got one, like, it's one of my, Raid's got my favourite action scene, but it's actually got a really good action scene in it.
Oh.
And I think it's kind of inspired my favourite film, Raid. Like, the action sequence, it's like really done well.
Let's get to the story. Let's get to the story first. Don't jump into the action.
Sorry, I was trying to sell it to him. Basically, this person, he gets kidnapped and he gets put away in a room for 50,
So he's your typical
years?
normal dad. Like, the opening to the movie, he's a bit of a drunk and he's like trying to get out of jail sort of thing. And then he rings his daughter and he's like, I'm coming home for your birthday, rah, rah, rah. And then passes the phone to his mate to talk to his daughter or whatnot. And then all of a sudden he just disappears. No one knows where he's gone. Like Gal says, this guy has now been thrown into, like, it's not like a prison cell as such. It's like an apartment, but he's locked in it. But it is a prison. It's very odd how it's done. And he's locked in there for 15 years. Doesn't know why. Because it's not a prison. It's not like a cop jail or whatnot. He's literally being kidnapped. Yeah. And he's got a TV so he can watch the world go by or whatnot. But he's literally... He's not going anywhere. The whole 15 years he questions why this happens, or this has happened. All of a sudden, the gas comes in, doesn't it, or something?
Yep.
Knocked out, and he's awake on top of like a building. Like he's locked in some sort of
briefcase or something.
Just like a massive human-sized briefcase, like trunk sort of thing. Just comes out of it, and a person said, "Oh, he rings him up and says, oh, you've got 3 days to find out why you've been locked in this place for 15 years. The reason you've only got 3 days is because I'm going to kill myself in 3 days. And if you don't find me or the reason why, you'll never know why you've been locked away." And then obviously the rest of the movie is just like Gal says. It comes into action. He finds little bits. It's very much like a mystery, but it's one of the best vengeance films you could ever watch.
100% agree with
With
that.
the fucking twist.
The twist alone is like... It's one of those films where you don't expect a twist because it happens at the very end when a action scene is meant to happen. So he gets like there's a part where he starts getting his weapon ready and is about to fight someone. And he's like, "Nope, hang on, let's explain the twist to him." And it's just I really don't want to say it. I really don't.
Go on, explain it.
You sure? It's traumatic.
But anyway, no. There's no. Anyway, so there's other great scenes in this movie, like the actor who plays his name's Odyssey, but he's essentially Old Boy. His acting in that is fucking phenomenal. He's one of my favorite Korean actors ever. Literally the scene when he eats the octopus. He eats a live octopus on camera. It is insane how he just grabs it, bites its head off, and then you can see the tentacles going around his arm and whatnot. It's insane. It's just like the scene with, like the gal said, so essentially it's a fight scene, but it's shot from the side, and it's all done in one shot. And it's one of those ones where you're convinced it wasn't choreographed. but it was choreographed because obviously that's how they would make the movie.
Yeah.
But the fight itself is just so brutal. And
loads of them just come in, and it just
loads of them versus this one. He's not a young bloke either. He's like nearly 50 something, and so he's literally old boy.
Yeah.
But did you know that it is a comic book movie? Did you ever know that?
No.
It's based on a Korean comic book movie.
I don't know.
Korean comic book.
That's cool.
I really want.
No, don't.
Just go and stand out there.
I think don't. I think it's best if I don't leave it. I think even for the viewers.
Right, have we sold it to you? Will you watch it?
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can leave.
Okay.
No, don't worry.
Take myself
Also,
to a happy place.
the actor is pretty good. He's really good in I Saw the Devil.
Oh, he's amazing!
He's so
I forgot
good.
about that movie. Yeah, but that doesn't have a twist in that movie. So,
Yeah, but it's still cracking for him. Man.
so it's essentially like, in a way, like a murder mystery. Again, why have I been locked up? All makes perfect sense as well. It's not like one of those ones that hypes you up and like, oh, is that it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But when he finds out why, there's even more to it, which is obviously the twist at the end.
Yeah.
And it's one of those. The reason it's my number one is I know I mentioned The Mist and whatnot, but this was out before that. This was the film that I was completely and utterly shocked at the twist.
Yep.
Like, I've had other twists, like I mentioned, Existenz and The Game and whatnot, but this movie was just like, I remember I was doing a night shift at some other company I was working for, and I shouldn't even been watching it. I had like a little portable DVD player, watched it, and I literally got up and I was like, no, oh my God.
Yeah.
No,
literally.
I will never forget it. It's just not only is it my favorite Korean movie of all time, it is the best movie twist in my opinion.
Yeah.
But obviously you guys have your number one, so you would debate that.
For me, like as you noticed, my
I've got it. If you want to borrow it, Dave, by the way.
This is like up there, and there's only one film that's topped the plot even more, and you'll see my next one.
Yeah.
It's like Anne said, it's one it's a plot twist that will be stuck with you forever. Like that's how,
and it has to this day.
Yeah, and that's why it's in my top 5. And
Really?
I don't need to say anything more because Ant's, done it.
There isn't any more to say. That was my number 1. That was your number 3.
And I'm glad you haven't seen it because I really want you to see it, Dave.
I will watch it.
Yeah, it's just
Cracking.
even you guys describe.
Please don't watch the English version.
Oh yeah, please don't. Yeah,
No,
actually,
don't.
that is
No,
bullshit.
with Josh Brolin, fuck that shit.
Mate,
Trust
why
me.
do they do that? What was the point? Honestly,
it's
it's
no
like, do you know what I mean? Trying to get some
Because I
money.
can't read subtitles.
Yeah, exactly.
I love how he says that in an accent.
I was going to ask you guys during that twist, like what like we're talking about physically. How did you feel? Did you get
Sickening.
chills? Sickening. Okay, because a lot of people said that. It's a twist. You know, normally when you movie twists, you feel like kind of like shocked, or sometimes you feel a bit of chills. Stuff like. But
And now that you're-
sickening.
Now-
This
yeah.
is-
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
sickening.
Yeah, you're close.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
see, I was so close to ruin it. I was like, no,
Oh.
I'm not going to say nothing.
It makes you go "Ew," like that, but you know that's as much as we're going to say, guys. That's not going to.
More than eating a live
Yeah.
octopus.
That's just one
Yeah.
of many.
I would rather eat.
Just the way he does it. It's
Yeah.
literally. I think he did it in 2 shots or 2 takes. Sorry. It's more brutal. He just grabbed it.
just eats it. Oh.
Amazing piece of acting. It really, really, really is. And I'm glad. In theory, that was technically my first Korean movie I ever watched as well.
Same.
So how it's gone down to like me being a massive fan of Korean movies is how I've got you guys into Korean movies. Hopefully Dave will get into more. I mean, he's got Parasite in his top 5, so he must love Korean movies.
That's my first one.
There we
I'm
go.
not- I'm
So
not
that was your
being-
first.
Yeah.
Oh, no way. There we go. So, mate, seriously.
I thought Mother was.
There is a whole world of amazing. You guys are my witnesses.
Trust me,
Come
man.
on.
Korean
It's so
know
true.
how to do films. Trust me.
I wasn't convinced till they forced me to watch one. I was like, "Ooh, okay, all right."
It's like I'm not being racist, but I thought it was Japanese first. Only like years later, I found out it was Korean. So yeah, Old Boy's my own.
Yeah, I think that's because of the
First.
cult following. Everything was Japanese, wasn't it? So it's kind of like, oh, wow.
Damn it, I need a 4K version of that. Damn it.
You can get one.
Yeah,
There's a still book
Yeah.
for it as well.
yeah, that's my next one then. Yep.
Very cool.
Sick.
Number 3, sir.
Right, my number 3. Okay, this is probably like a dampener compared to your movies, but for me, I had to put this as a number 3 because when this twist came, I was just like, oh shit. At the same time, I was like, I wouldn't say blown away, but I was kind of like, didn't see that come in. It's in Saw.
Yeah, that's my number one.
Is that your number one?
Really?
No.
You
Is it yours as well?
bastard.
Number
Yeah.
one.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was
Okay.
like so glad no one's mentioned it. So you're like
Double kill.
Headshot.
Headshot.
Right, freebie.
That's-
Go for it.
Okay.
Let's go all in.
Let's all go in, guys. Do you know what? I want you guys to talk about this. I want to hear what you.
No,
thought,
you
and I'm gonna
spoiled
add
it. You put it in.
Well, it's your
Alright.
three, so technically you should start, and then they go.
Okay. We'll do this together. I'll lead you guys in. So it
lead
takes
you in.
place in this one room, and two guys are chained in this room, and they're playing this game by this guy called the Jigsaw. And as the movie goes on, basically
Uncovering why they're in there.
yeah, why they're in there, and you're getting flashbacks of their individual stories.
It's like an episode of Lost, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
They're there,
Exactly.
now they've got to figure out why they're there.
Yeah, why they're in stuff. And at the same time, there's this 6 series of games that are being played. And that's probably what makes the movie so iconic, is the torture games in it. You know, like a bear trap for the head. And the key for it is inside. Well, you don't.
Someone's
it's
stomach, isn't
They're
it?
all,
Yeah.
they're all
stomach.
trapped. Heavily,
They're all
yeah.
trapped, exactly. So you'd realize that that's one of the games that Jigsaw played on one of his victims, and his philosophy is that you have to be so thankful and grateful to be alive. So those people who are ungrateful, he puts them into their games.
Yeah, but he has a reason for that, isn't he? He's dying. His wife, or he's dying of.
There is a reason for it. So
Cancer
the
or
reason
something.
why he puts them into those games is to kind of make them feel appreciative
Of life.
of
Yeah.
life. So when they come out of it and stuff, and like Gal was saying, it's like there's a reason behind that you'd find out in the first movie, but then it gets
It gets
added on
expanded
as the
more,
movies-
yeah.
as the movies goes on. It's entirely a giant jigsaw puzzle, like the
Mm.
whole series, right? It's crazy. But the twist at the end. And no, guys, I'm gonna have you guys talk about this because I know what it's about. I want you guys to explain it. So
It's
go on.
it's one of those ones
Yeah.
like if someone's ruined it, it's no point. Like again, like
Right.
Sixth Sense.
This was that
Oh my
one that
God.
the guy
That
in
Blockbuster.
Blockbuster ruined for me.
Oh, was this the one? Oh,
this
no
is
way.
the one.
But I completely forgotten by the point.
That's
Because
good, man.
I then, when the third one came out, I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I should probably watch them. Everyone says they're really good. And then I went back
Yeah.
and I'd completely forgotten.
Oh, that's so at least you
That's
forgot,
good.
though. That was a good
That's
thing.
good.
It's
Yeah.
one of
Yeah.
those ones that
Yeah.
I did not see that coming. Like when,
Absolutely.
like you find out basically Jigsaw was lying there in
so
the room.
before you say,
Yeah.
you got.
I'll go on
there's
you
a-
there. You go on.
No, it's just
I'll
that,
go- I'll
so
go
that
in.
the whole time they're trying to figure out and through different ways to escape from this murder room, and like at one point, and there's a body in the floor, on the floor in between them, with like lots of like a head sort of shot open and
It's
a
got
load
a
of
tape
blood,
there as well,
Yeah.
isn't it?
tape player in the hand, and there's a gun there, isn't there?
Yes.
And so even part way through them trying to escape, one of the people locked in the room figures out is told to dip something dip a cigarette, I think, in the
Yeah.
blood.
The
because
blood's
is-
poisoned, isn't it? Or
The blood
something?
is
That's
poisoned,
right.
so that even
Yeah.
reinforces that this guy was already poisoned,
Yeah.
and then he shot himself in the head
That's it.
and all that. So you're thinking, yep, he's completely dead in the middle, and he's just a device for the other two to try and escape or take out one of each other to escape the room.
Escape it. Yeah.
And then at the end, over to you, Big J.
That body, he wakes up and
Oh.
he reveals himself as Jigsaw.
My God.
Oh, shit.
But he wakes up to and then it just goes game over.
Over.
And gets shut in, doesn't he? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
iconic.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
I don't know. I had that soundtrack on my playlist. I don't
Same.
think it's so
Can I
good.
ask you, if that soundtrack didn't play, I don't think the reveal would have been as exciting.
No.
Right? The music itself
Yeah,
also
agreed.
just had chills to my spine. I was like, fuck, that sounds scary.
It's like
With it as well.
even
Like,
before that bit,
yeah.
you're just like, it's that black guy, the cop guy. It's him. No, it's him.
Yeah.
It's him. And you're like, yeah, I'm convinced. And then when he wakes up, I was like, holy shit! Like it was so
And it-
like,
Yeah.
I
And it
did
adds
not-
a
I did
new
not-
level of
See that.
fucked upness
Yeah.
to Jigsaw, doesn't it? Because he not only is he happy to sit and watch from behind a screen.
Oh, the clue was there though. He likes to see them real close.
Yeah, yeah.
Like to see what's happening. He was
shit,
watching
yeah.
them, and he was there. But didn't he take some
he's-
sedative to?
He slowed his heart rate
That's
with
it, yeah.
something, didn't he? He
Yeah.
takes some sort of
Yes.
something
Diazepam.
to like really
Yeah, to
slow his heart rate down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he appears dead. But then, yeah, he's in the room. He wants to wake
Genius.
up in there.
Could you imagine if he had like a really
God.
bad itch during that? And it's like, fuck, I gotta stay still.
Or if he farted or something.
Who was that? Was that you? No.
Go on.
It's not just that aspect. Like even it's such a brutal film as well. Like some of the traps he comes up with and whatnots is so horrific.
I just love it's apart from the flashbacks, the isolation of the one room, the chemistry between these two guys. Yeah. You know, one's he's like a doctor, the other guy he's like a
private investigator.
Yeah.
That's right.
And how they just blame it on each other. They come up with all these other scenarios, like it is you that's doing it. No, it's not you. And I just, for a movie that was shot in 10 days, it's just
brilliant.
Amazing.
Yeah. And how it become this massive rant. Because I remember seeing, like, I again do night shifts at this place. I used to be on this movie website, and it would have all these posters for this movie with just the foot.
It was just the foot and the saw.
That's right.
Oh, right.
And it looked like something that was going to be banned in this country. It, like nothing that was going to be coming out or whatnot. And the fact that how big it is and how every sequel was out yearly after that was just amazing. And now it's got its own ride at Fort Park and all that stuff. Yes, it's crazy how big it is. You know,
absolutely.
That's how iconic that film is. And now
do you own the Blu-ray at all?
No.
So if you ever heard of the movie, the original Saw, which is like a 12-minute movie, is on that. It's on the features.
Really?
Yeah,
I saw.
You should watch it.
Yes,
Quite. It might even be on
Special
YouTube,
features.
to be honest. Yeah, so give it a go. It's really good.
I don't know if you during the film as well. Like he has, one of the investigators, he goes into Jigsaw's room, place or something. You could see the actual plan for those guys in there. The little
the blueprint and stuff. No, that's right. He had like a fake kind of like.
Oh my
building,
God!
And the dolls were in that. And
another twist for you.
Yeah, go on.
Just mentioned Lost, didn't I?
Yeah.
One of the actors of Lost is in this movie.
Yeah, it's the guy who plays. Yes.
It's the rules.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yes.
The twist within a twist.
Yeah. That was.
You're too late. It's the rules.
Yeah, he's
but when you're thinking twists, when you're thinking classic horrors, or it started off so much, didn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely.
And it's iconic for a reason. And
this is the first one me and you said straight away when the Ant said our top 5 things.
That's the first one I said.
Yeah.
Oh my
and
God.
I said, okay, fine.
So the question to you guys is: would you do that to escape?
So I chopped my own leg off. Yeah, I would.
Do you know, I had thought of that so many times, even after
Like
the
literally,
movie,
if that it was the only way.
Yeah.
Doesn't he kind of snap it off as well?
No, he smashes it with a fucking.
No, you're
system
talking about
with.
when in one of the sequels he does that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
But there's a bit where he breaks it, doesn't he? And he pulls it through.
Yeah, so Donnie Wahlberg later and the other ones.
Yeah. He smashes it with a cistern.
That's right, and breaks his ankle, doesn't he?
That was horrific.
So so going back to question, would you cut your own foot off to get out?
I want to fucking live.
Yeah. When you think about it, like,
but then when you're sitting there with it and you're like that first stroke, and you're like, ow,
oh no,
carry on.
Yeah.
Like if you've just given yourself a paper cut, you're not going to then go paper cut.
I hate paper cuts so much as well. It's making my hands go funny. What about you, Big Al?
Yeah, hell yeah, I want to live in it.
Yeah, 100%.
You so fucking would it.
I'll shit myself. But I will have to do it eventually. If I'm starving to death or something.
Do you know what made it horrific? When he was going into it, the sound that he made when he was cutting into it, it just sounded so raw.
But you know what? I'll make it go numb so I won't feel it. Like,
how?
Get a belt.
He hasn't got a sedative right next to him.
Get a belt and then
I'll just rub it for like an hour. It feels like someone else is doing it. Goku, would you do it? Would you cut your own foot off to get out?
After many times thinking about it, even after the movie and watching it, even like, a year ago or so, I think we were watching it yours. I just thought to myself, always put yourself in that situation. Would I cut it? And yeah, you're right.
You cut the wrong leg off first.
but then having said that, with the whole thing with the Jigsaw games, that is the basis of them, isn't it? Yeah. Would you do that? Like you saying about the man who's got the key in his stomach.
Yeah.
Would you cut him open to get that thing off your head?
If it's somebody else,
that's
not hard, is it?
Exactly.
No, but what I'm saying is like, how far would you go to save your life, isn't it?
That's basically what his games were
that's
saying.
the whole point of each game, wasn't it?
Absolutely. How far would you go? That's basically what he says. Yeah. How far would you go to live and appreciate life and stuff?
You want to play a game,
man. And it's scary because, like, this is something that you can perceive in real life. I mean, going off, but there's a movie called 127 Hours. Based on
I
a
have
true
got
story.
such a story for that. If we ever come to that, an
Right.
episode about that movie,
Okay, really?
it's brilliant.
Okay, we're gonna have to do an episode. But that's the same thing, isn't it? Because he gets lodged, and
But he does that with a
got to-
blunt knife, though.
Yeah,
That's
pen
the
knife.
thing.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like,
Right, yeah, which
Fuck
is
that.
blunt. So it's you can see this happening in real life, and well, you know, you're going to have to be very unlucky for that to happen. But when in that situation, you think to yourself, yeah, you're going to have to, you know, maybe, yeah, you probably will die from major blood loss, but rather that than, you know, die there.
Well, not if G's numbed his leg with his belt. That works as a nice.
He's rubbed his leg now. I've got pins and needles. I can't feel it.
But going back to James Wan, he's made some cracking films. Insidious, Dead Silence.
He's a good director, isn't he?
We talked
Yeah.
about earlier. So.
If you think you need to watch Death Sentence, Death Sentence is a really good film. Again, it's a vengeance movie with Kevin Bacon in it. Really, really good film.
Was it got a twisty sort of thing?
It's not got a twist in it, but it's one of those movies where like I said, it's a vengeance movie. A gang kill his kids and his wife, and the whole movie is just him contemplating, like, you know, do I go after these guys? You know, I've got nothing else to live for. It's very much like that law-abiding citizen, but with less action in it.
Right, okay.
Very typical James Wan. There's like a scene where the gangsters are chasing Kevin Bacon, and there's a shot. It's amazing. It's a simple, just a pass of the camera to another cameraman. It's all done in one shot, and he's getting chased in like a parking lot. And how he travels down, the camera comes out of the parking lot, goes down a level.
Wow.
Like I said, they literally have it portable, and when you see the making of it, and pass it down to another camera, and then go inside and then follow him again, it's crazy. And it's like you watch it and you think, so how do they do that?
Yeah.
But then you look at it and it's like, oh, he's just passing it down. Simply,
Yeah.
very good James Wan film. But like I said, yeah, he done Insidious, Conjurings, Aquaman, Fast and Furious 7.
Yeah.
He's done loads. So
And the new one,
good.
I can't.
Malignant.
Yeah, Malignant. That's the one.
I don't read English.
I couldn't say it.
Yeah, you couldn't say it.
Malignant.
I was like,
that's what
magnificent.
you're saying, yeah.
Magnificent. Yeah, I knew. Maleficent.
Maleficent.
Yeah, I was struggling on that.
Liberties. Man.
Why has it been boy me? Boy Nash.
No, it's you that's doing it. We were doing fine until you said that.
Magnificent. I can't say
But
it.
anyway, Saw
Yeah.
top twist.
Yeah.
For me.
Hence why it's number one.
I see it.
Thanks for ruining it for me, Goko.
No problem, guys.
Well,
No
you
problem.
remind.
I'm
Oh,
surprised.
sorry, cunt.
So
So
number
the,
two.
so the only person with the number one is Goku.
No
Yep.
way. Really?
Well, we did number two now anyway, so let's do that.
Number 2.
I believe that's your only one that hasn't been ruined.
It is, yeah.
Same as mine. So go for it, sir.
And I'm sorry if it ruins it for anyone else. It's a film called Ex Machina.
Oh.
Or Ex Machina, as they say in America.
Yeah, yeah.
Dumb horses. sorry,
really
sorry,
good
American
on
audiences.
I'm really good. I didn't go for that one. No.
No, yeah. See, that's the one I knew about. So,
Yeah.
but that's a damn good choice.
It
So,
is, you know my love of sci-fi and you know ethics and sort of robotics.
have you
AI,
seen it,
all that
guys?
sort of
I
stuff.
have seen it.
Yes.
I have
Yeah.
seen it.
Yes.
So the premise is the main guy wins a competition. He wins a competition to go and visit the head of a court of a country,
yes, yeah.
who's played by Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac, damn good actor.
Yeah, shit,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Who's going to be your guy?
Oh,
Ray
no,
Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Snake.
Solid Snake.
Oh shit.
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, so wins
Sorry.
I'm lost now. And he goes to this mansion, you know, this very sort of fancy,
And the middle of
futuristic-
nowhere sort of thing.
in
Isn't
the
it?
middle of nowhere retreat mansion to meet this sort of bit
Like an inventor, isn't he?
inventor, like, you know, and he's basically created the most advanced AI robot
Yep.
that there's been,
Scary.
and is obviously kept in the mansion itself. And throughout the film, the main character that we're sort of following is interacting with this machine, effectively this robot.
Yeah.
And there's various bits of where like the power goes out, and that's their chance to talk without being watched. So you've got this whole build up where and he is sort of skeptical at first, and then he almost falls in love, falls for this robot as a person, as an entity, as a intelligence.
Yep.
And so they start then trying to engineer and go behind Oscar Isaac's character's back to have these moments where they can talk without being watched and things like that. And then he comes to the sort of realization that he wants to help break the machine out and free her.
Yep.
So he leads towards that and manages, and then right at the end, where the twist comes, is he's almost, like I say, he's almost fallen in love, hasn't he?
Yes, definitely.
With the machine, he's fallen in love with this thing,
Yeah.
and he thinks he's going to be able to rescue her or the machine, not her. Rescue it and free it from whatever was originally planned, and it turns out that the machine has been manipulating him the whole time just to escape.
A bitch.
Yeah. So that whole thing of what was it? Did it have human emotions?
Yeah.
Could it love or care at all, or was it an incredibly ruthless mechanism for
Like, you had the
escape?
plan from the start. Yeah.
That this was all, and it was the human has fallen hook, line, and sinker for that.
Yeah. For the AI.
For the AI,
Yeah.
for that sort of, which is, to me anyway, is a scary, because
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so manages to escape at the end on its own and passes itself off as a human female.
It's the original Skynet.
Yeah, and is
Amazing.
released upon the world.
She actually escapes, doesn't she? She goes into the
Yeah.
He helps her escape, and she betrays him. I'm trying to remember whether she kills him. At
She
the
kills Oscar
kills
Isaac.
him.
Oscar
end.
Isaac dies, yeah.
Yeah. But she goes on a rampage, escapes, and isn't he left locked in the room?
Yes.
I think he's left
Yeah,
locked in
and that's
her
when she
room.
goes out and discovers like the water and
Yeah.
the flowers and all
Yeah.
that stuff, didn't she? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. He said, oh, yes.
But you're left wondering again at the end: did she care a little bit? Was there?
Yeah.
If she's intelligent, and has she got human feelings,
Yeah.
or is it just this incredibly manipulative sort of?
It's got to
You
be.
think
'cause
is that
Was
the-
it a plan from the beginning? Yeah.
Yeah, like, is she programmed for that, you know?
Or is it an intelligence that's smart enough
Yeah,
to do that?
To do that.
exactly. And it's scary because, like, there are people in the world who are kind of like that.
Well, there's
they're
there's
sick,
those
you
robots
know?
that are out
It's
now.
not-
That what's her
yeah.
name? Sophia or Sophia? You know the one?
Is that the one, the Elon Musk one? Is it? No.
No. There's an actual robot that is on like those morning shows that you see.
Okay.
I think her
okay.
name's Sophia or Sophia like that. And you
Right,
can ask it
yeah.
questions and it talks back in
Well,
human emotion and all that
Yeah,
sort of stuff.
well, a lot
Okay.
of.
Do you know the one I'm
yeah,
about?
yeah, they've been building a lot of sort of robots and things like that, but they've been using they take information from the internet. So like for
Machine
example, they've
learning,
made chatbots on the
Yeah.
internet.
Yep.
So it's just up there, and you go onto it and you type questions to it, and it types questions back to you. And the more people talk to it, the more it learns. So
It's
it's
like machine
sifting
learning.
all of this information into. So of course, the one on the internet's turned out to be horrifically racist, and
No way, is it really?
yeah,
Yes.
because I think they had to
Yeah.
shut it down because it was, like
Yeah.
it was it started
Shit.
spewing. Not because of course the
Yeah.
most people on the internet are going to go.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You're going to type in like something really bad.
Yeah.
I love how we come up with this advanced technology and we still got jokers like going.
It's so true.
But
Yeah.
so yeah.
Get her to say penis.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. What is love? Penis. Because most of you would say that.
love. Let's bring us love. Grab his legs.
I bring you love.
I bring you love. Love,
yeah,
I love a Simpsons reference any day.
So
Brilliant.
there are, I'm sure there are, like you're saying, there probably are quite a few different people working on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's
On
going to happen
AI.
at some point, isn't it? It's,
absolutely.
yeah.
Like I say,
Yeah.
the way they do it is by taking lots of interactions. So it's done on a size basis. So then but then is that really an
The best thing to do.
well? No, is it really an identity on its own because it's just parroting? So it's got
Yeah.
millions of responses to the question, "How are you feeling?" Because you put in millions of answers.
Yeah.
But it decides which one to select, though. So
Yeah,
But it's not. Is it consciously doing?
Yeah,
that? Like,
exactly.
is it
Or-
saying I'm
But
happy
anyway,
because I'm happy?
Ex Machina
Interesting.
pulls into this sort of whole idea,
Yeah.
and I like to think that it's got a personality, but then I suppose it's how
Yeah.
you want
It's,
to
it's definitely one like we mentioned earlier. I think is one you can go back and rewatch
Yeah.
and try and figure out whether, like you said, if it had ever had emotions or if it just
was it
straight out.
opportunistic?
Yeah, exactly,
Or
yeah.
was it thinking from the beginning, I can manipulate this human because they have human emotions?
I can manipulate this ginger guy. What a loser! Ginger hair. I'm getting out of here.
That's a good
Good
pick.
choice.
I have seen
Yeah.
it. It's good.
I need to rewatch it. I haven't. I
Yeah.
think I saw it at the cinema. I haven't seen it since. I really need to go back and watch that again.
Yeah, it was so highly rated. I didn't realize it was good, and I watched it. and I was like, "Ooh, yeah,
But I
interesting."
think
yeah,
again, it's not an action film, so it's
No.
not.
Very
It's,
slow,
yeah.
slowish.
Yeah,
like a slow burn. But yeah. Do you know what, Dave? I think it's one of those movies that I can see in the future being like people would watch it back and think, "Oh wow," like it was one of those movies where they'll probably like compare that to the
when the real robots escape to
yeah,
go.
like,
it's one of those.
We should have learned from this.
yeah, exactly.
It's one of those movies. In hindsight, you look back from your little hovel with your.
They told us years
with your
ago
little
this was going to
grey
happen.
flickering TV.
Exactly.
Damn it! We should have learned.
Exactly. It's like when the pandemic happened, and then there's all these movies that said it before, and they're like, oh look, we knew it was coming.
Exactly.
Yeah, good choice, sir.
Such a good choice.
Actually, I got to remember what mine is now.
Is it number 2's?
Yeah, number 2's. Right, so my number 2, I definitely know this isn't on your lists. Yeah, it's definitely not on his. So this was a movie that essentially was the first one that had 2 twists in it. And I was just like, mind boggled. But it's one of those ones where I didn't see...
2 twists.
It has 2 twists in it. But it didn't... I wasn't expecting a twist full stop in this movie. Anyway, movie is called Identity. Anyone seen it?
Yeah.
Heard of it?
Yeah.
It's about 10 strangers that are in a hotel room, and then one by one, each of them start dying. And there's obviously a reason for why they do it.
Nice.
Stars like big stars like John Cusack and Ray Liotta and whatnot. So whilst this is going on, like I said, it's like in a storm out in the middle of nowhere, this hotel, and all these strangers come to this hotel. There's coincidences like someone's been run over, or one's escorting a movie star or whatever sort of thing. Yep. They all connect and meet up at this hotel, and they all check into their rooms, and then, like I said, one by one of them start to die. And every time they find the body, they have a room key in it, and the first body they come up has the number 10 on it, and the next body has 9. It's essentially a countdown. So the whole movie is trying to figure out why this is happening, who's killing these people. Is it this guy? Is it that guy? Because there's only 10 people in this area. We haven't found if there's an 11th person going around killing anyone. As this is happening, we're coming across this sort of, I think it's like a sentencing, like there's a guy who what's his name? Who plays Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2? Alfred Molina or something. Yeah. So he's essentially a doctor who's brought this guy who he is obviously he's killed people. He's been in jail, and he's essentially defending him. He's trying to get him out. Like he's basically saying he's too mental to be in a prison. He needs to be in a mental home. This is all happening whilst people are getting killed. So it's like 2 separate scenes as it happens. Turns out at the end of the movie, the big twist here is that what is happening in the hotel isn't happening in real life. It is all happening in this killer's mind.
Oh, okay.
He has this thing where he can create personalities. This was all before Split came out, whatnot.
I was going to say.
So
yeah, right.
essentially, every character that is getting killed, it's a personality in his mind that is dying at the same time. But when we watch it as the hotel, it looks like it's happening in real life. This is not. It's all happening in this man's mind as it happens. As the final person escapes at the end of the hotel scene, you're essentially thinking that the guy is cured. He hasn't got any more of these personalities anymore. And then at the end of the movie, he gets to go to a mental home instead of a prison. They're essentially escorting him now. The judge says, right, yep, I get the idea now. I see what you're talking about, this whole split personality syndrome thing. Anyway, second twist. We find out that one of the personalities also escapes, and it was the one that was doing the killings. So not only has he convinced these people he's cured, his mind, deep down, hasn't been cured. Have you seen it, Goku?
No.
So yeah,
piecing it together. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting.
so we essentially think that 9 people had died in the hotel scene thing, which wasn't the case at all. One, because we never see that. I think it's a child in the end. It's a child personality, but that is the real personality that has made him this killer. Like I think he was beaten up as a kid. His mum was a whore and all that sort of stuff. So that essentially is the personality that made him the killer that he is today. And that personality sort of hid during this whole thing with the hotel happening. And it comes back to you at the end. I know it's very difficult the way I'm trying to explain it.
Yeah, I'm trying to piece it. Okay,
but when you watch it,
Makes sense.
it'll make perfect sense. But I just like love the whole idea how the hotel scene, all these characters, all these people never existed. This is all just happening in someone's mind. And I thought that was just so clever how they did that. And then at the very end, we've got another twist where the real personality of the killer kills the last, actual personality in his mind.
Wow.
And he essentially kills Alfred Molina and escapes at the end as well, which is fucking awesome.
That's
it's just
great.
It was just like, oh my god! I was waiting for something else to happen at the end as well, but no, two plot twists were movie twists were pretty good. Like I said, it's very difficult for me to explain it, but you should watch it. It is very good. The setting for the hotel, because it always rains. It never gets sunny or whatnot.
Yeah.
Just the atmosphere around it is so tension building. There are all jump scares and all this sort of stuff in it as well. Have you seen it?
I feel like I have seen it when you mentioned Identity, but has the cover got a picture of the hand?
The hand,
I think
and each finger represents a different personality.
Yeah.
See, I never saw any of this. This is one of those movies where I was young at the time. I had one of those cinema cards, and I'd seen everything in the cinema. So I thought, I'll give this a go. I wasn't expecting anything. And it's like one of my favourite movie plot twists. I still own the movie as well. I friggin' love this film. And it was also a big eye-opener to me how we were talking about Shutter Island earlier on, how it can how someone's mind can do this.
Yep.
Like, in split seconds. Because these aren't just like average Joes. Like, one of these split personality is a copper. One of these is a person that's just escaped from prison. One of these is a woman who's a stripper. And there's like parts when he's in the courtroom, he's like, he shakes his head, and next minute he's this copper, shakes his head again, and he's now this woman. He's convinced that he is these people with a simple shake of his head. And it's just crazy how, I've obviously never come across someone like that in real life. I hope I never do. But, how mental that is, that someone can be convinced that is the case. Yeah. It's crazy. And the way he talks, he's like, I'm Alex Parker. I was a copper in 1987 and I got transferred from here or not. Who has this information in their head? That is unbelievable.
Complex.
So it was just such a big eye-opener for me. And that's why it was so tough. It was going to be number one. Yeah. But then when I think more about Old Boy and how it affected me as movie plots go, plot twists go, that had to be it. But I highly recommend Identity. If you haven't seen it, give it a go.
I have seen it, but I think you did a really good job explaining it, because
it's tough because it's like I don't think I've explained it well enough. Yeah, no, honestly. But
I remember watching it. I thought I watched it when I was young at the time, and I remember it was the kid. But I forgot all the court scenes. And that bit's at the end, isn't it? It kind of goes... It's during. It comes back and forth. Because you're so hooked on about these people trying to escape this hotel. But then you're trying to solve a murder mystery at the same time. And then you keep going back to this guy. Well, why do we keep going back to this killer? Why do we care if he's escaped? But then you kind of think to yourself, are they going to connect it so that he's the one that's doing the killings? Only to figure out the whole hotel scene was just his mind. It is insane. It's like, who comes up with this shit? It's incredible. Really amazing piece of writing. Yeah. But
did it make it better? Because you said like you had the cinema cards, so you didn't have any expectation of this movie. Like for example, for Saw and stuff, like I heard people were like, it's a good movie, go watch it. So with this one, it was just like nothing else to watch.
Because once again, if you watch the trailer is literally 30 seconds long because there's only so much you can put in a trailer without giving it away. And again, it's just hyped up as a horror film. So, and there are parts where, like I said to you, there are horror elements in this movie where music jump scares you, and there's parts where you see a shadow effect with the man with a knife and stuff. So there is a lot of horror to it, but it's not a horror movie at the end of the day. And I just love how it twisted that. Brilliant. So highly recommend it. That's my number 2.
Nice.
Yours is taken?
Mine's taken. Yeah.
Good choice.
Yours is taken?
My number 2. No. Thankfully, it hasn't been. So, guys, if I told you this movie, you would never think. You might think of this movie as having a twist. Like for me, the reason why I think of this movie is not the reason of most other people. So it's a movie called Inside Man. Have you guys seen this?
Yes. Spike Lee. Yeah.
Right.
And
exactly.
Clive Owens.
Absolutely. So it's that twist in the end, and
that was good. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it is good.
Like, oh my God, like that blew my mind. Like seriously, Gal and Dave, you guys seen?
No, I haven't seen it.
It's the bank heist, isn't it?
It's the bank heist,
Yes,
and it's got a lot of like, a lot
So this
of
was Money
parallels.
Heist before there was Money Heist.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
And
I don't know
when I was
if I
watching
like
Money
Denzel
Heist
Washington.
as well, like they were saying the guy who was producing and directing, he said that he was so influenced by Inside Man. Don't know if you knew that. And
I didn't know that,
right,
no.
he didn't know that. So he was so influenced by it. And he was like, why is this not a TV show? And then, obviously kind of based it on that and stuff. But long story short, it's about a group of guys who go in and rob a bank. Again, I don't want to spoil the ending. You know what? I'm not going to, because
Thank you, Don.
Gal and like Dave, guys, you
I'm gonna see it.
you think that's fair, right? Like Dave,
No, absolutely, yeah.
because
yeah,
it's one of those endings where
we
it's
can
just
go
like,
so
woo!
far. We can still keep talking. But
Yeah, we can talk about it. But it's a smart movie. So it's got Clive Owen, who's like the main guy in it, and he's like the ringleader of the gang. And then you've got Denzel, who's like the cop. And you know what? And it does a really good job of like a rhetoric of people in New York as well, because you get all different people from all parts of life in New York, and they come in, and you've got like the Albanian lady and the construction worker and the cop and the Sikh who works at a bank, and all these people. It's what New York is everyone just melting pot, but they all have their own stories, and his prejudices are also revealed in this movie as well. So the bank heist is happening, and they close off the bank. And
I love the Sikh guy later on. He's like, "Oh, why do you attack me? Is it because I'm wearing a turban?"
Exactly. Which is very, that was like a rhetoric, because this was post 9/11 as well. So it had a lot to do with that. Like anyone seen with a turban or any kind of garment, they were seen as, this could be them. Like anything bad, this must be, is that kind of thing, right? So yeah, he played a good role in that. It was pretty cool. And the way the movie started, and do you remember the beginning bit where the Universal thing comes on, right? So I'm thinking, am I watching like Bride and Prejudice? Like it sounds like an Indian movie. They're playing some Indian music in the background, and I recognize this because the soundtrack it's huge. Like when my parents watch these movies, so they're always playing this in a car, and I'm like, oh my god, that's weird.
But it's throughout the movie at points, isn't there?
Yeah, it's played throughout the movie, and it's this weird kind of juxtaposition. It's played really well. I don't know why, it just really fits it. But yeah, it's just weird, and it just shows that it's happening in New York.
Was it got any relevance for Asian song?
No, that's what I'm saying.
There's
It's really odd because again, it's Spike Lee. At the end of the day, he's
Spike Lee.
It's his own sort of what they call. He never calls it a Spike Lee film. He calls it a Spike Lee joint. I don't know why. But anyway, he does these certain things with camera angles and whatnot, which is very odd. There's like a scene where, like I said, Denzel Washington's the main guy who's trying to stop the bank heist and whatnot. And he gets out of the van, but the way the camera does it, it's like it's fixed on him, and his legs aren't moving, but he's moving towards the building. It's so odd.
Wicked. I know that scene.
Yeah.
So
it's such an odd shot, isn't it? It's just like...
That's right, because he has a
moving,
revelation.
but his leg's not moving.
Yeah, so he is moving with the camera towards the building, but his legs aren't moving.
That's right.
You don't see the legs, you see it from the waist down. So he's clearly... something's pulling him. Yeah. It's just why is that in there? It's I don't know,
exactly
Spike Lee or whatever, isn't it? So, and Spike Lee was the arsehole that did the remake for Old Boy.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah, fuck that dude. Anyway,
because that scene was quite iconic because he has a revelation that kind of turns the movie almost upside down. So yeah, but it's little things. It's like it's really funny though. It's like, for example, it's really like there's scenes in it which I really love. Like, for example, this whole language barrier thing, right? So they're hearing this audio tape being played. And so imagine when a bank heist happens, there's like people on the streets who are watching it. They've been cordoned off with the police barriers and all watching the thing. What's going on? And Denzel's like, you know what? Let's just play this out to a crowd and see if anyone recognizes this language. And being New York, there's going to be someone in that crowd. And it's this lady who comes over and like she's like, oh, like it sounds like it's a construction worker. And he's like, yeah, it's Albanian. He's like, how do you know it's Albanian? He's like, oh yeah, my missus is Albanian, right? Like, yeah, I hear her talking to her parents all the time. It sounds like it. And then that kind of like, they kind of revealing, it's almost like this mystery behind what's happening. So you play, you're on the part of the police as well, but also you're kind of like seeing what the bank robbers and why they're doing this as well. But it's just, I can't say anymore. Like,
you guys will love it. It's one of those bank heist movies where the bad guy is ahead all the time.
Yes,
and that's where the sort of twist comes into it. It's just
and
you'd never think well, having said that, now that you've watched stuff like Money Heist, you might not have as shocking as a as shocked as the twist is at the end. But
I'm still gonna enjoy it.
You'll definitely enjoy it. It's
definitely
like I said, I only liked it because it was the one where, because as I said, Clive Owen's the bad guy, and how the chemistry between him and Denzel are just spot on,
Oh,
and how he's so cocky because he knows he's going to win out of this, Clive and whatnot.
Yeah. They're always having like a battle,
but you know, being
aren't they? It's
Denzel,
like-
he's like, you
yeah.
know, no, I'm the cop, I'm the good guy.
Yeah.
Just watch it. I highly
brilliant.
recommend it.
Yeah, definitely. It's really, really, really good. Yeah, and the
Another one
ending,
added to the
and when
list.
you see it, definitely like we have to talk about the ending, guys, because that didn't see that coming. You know,
Next
did
one
you?
I
I
ruin it.
don't know if you've seen it. Did you have any idea that bit at the end? Did
No.
anything? Right.
No, because again,
Absolutely.
Spike Lee's not the sort of guy that does twists for movies.
Exactly.
It was
Yeah.
just thrown out there. It was like, okay,
Yeah.
this is happening now. All right, okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, totally recommend it.
Good. Definitely, guys. Yeah.
So that's everyone's number
number 2.
ones.
No, that's number 2.
Yes.
It's number 1.
Yeah, sorry, our number ones are done. So it's back to you for
That
number
is
1.
me.
It's a Gold Coast episode.
Number 2.
No, not number
Number
2,
one.
number 1. So I got
It almost was my number 2, and I moved to number 1. Okay, this is this ending to this movie is a movie that's probably one of my favorite movies of all time, and I mean, it made it on the top of the IMDb list. So if I say that, you probably know what it is. But it's that scene from Shawshank Redemption. Right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's that one where, you know, imagine this whole movie, you're feeling sorry for this guy. Guys, have you seen Shawshank?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Yes.
seen it.
Yes. Okay, we can all talk about this now. Sorry. But yeah, long story short, it's this guy has been in
Stephen
prison.
King again.
Yeah, Stephen King. Oh my god. Right. So, what did you guys think? I mean, he's been in prison for a long time, innocent, right? And
Andy Dufresne.
Yeah.
Everybody
Is that
lives
Andy?
and everybody dies.
Everybody has. We liked Andy straight away. And yeah. And
That night, Andy cost me 20 cigarettes. He did not say a word.
I'd like to say the sisters didn't do it.
Yeah. I like to say the systems didn't do anything. Sorry, go on. Yeah, Shawshank, yes.
Yeah, that end scene where they're in the prison. He's in the prison, and you know, he wakes up the next morning and he's disappeared. And they're like, "What the fuck? Like, where did he go?" And you even are questioning, like, how did he escape? Like, you know, and then you find out that this photo that he had up on the prison that he changes as time goes on. So you have like
A poster, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a poster
Yeah.
of a certain female, and underneath this poster was basically his method of escape that he's been working on for like 20 years with a spoon, right? And that's his escape.
It's a tiny hammer, rock hammer. That's it.
It's a rock
Yeah,
hammer.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, sorry, the rock hammer. And that was it. That was basically that was it, and no one saw it. And it was just, I don't know, for me, when I saw that, I was just like, yes, you go, Andy, you go. That was brilliant. Well done, sir. You didn't deserve to get beat.
The only man to crawl through a river of shit and come out clean the other side.
You say that word, hope. Hope is the most powerful.
Yeah, Morgan made that movie.
Have you
for
seen
sure.
that video where they did Morgan's voiceover for the game? I can smell you.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I smell you.
They say, yeah. I'm going to cut you into the jugular.
So what do you guys think of Shawshank Redemption?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, because you know what, I was put off by that movie years and years ago because when that movie came out, it was so critically panned. Like everyone hated it, and it was one of those movies. Yep, it was very much like Blade Runner. Blade Runner was like panned big time, and again made a big cult following when the VHS came out, and it was just one where we as moviegoers, found this hidden gem.
yes.
It's like, why was this panned? Why, fuck the system. This is amazing. And look, I think it's like you said, like it's put in as it's in the top 10 of greatest movies of all time.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, but
It is. Yeah.
yeah.
I see it.
So I didn't really got to see it until we had Sky, and then it popped up on there one time, and it was just it's an amazing film. Still is to this day.
Yeah, I saw it quite late as well. I think
Yeah.
by then the reveal was done, but I still enjoyed it. It was a wicked film.
One of
Yeah,
those
I still didn't know
movies,
anything about it. All I knew is that it was a prison movie.
Yeah.
I never knew what era it was set. I just knew it was a prison film. So
Definitely. Yeah.
So when the ending happened, I was like, wow, this is wow.
Exactly. Yeah.
All that time, he could have just taken it down, and it would have been caught.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, like no one really expected it,
Mm.
kind of thing, right? So, yeah, it's quite.
But you don't
quite
use
good.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How am I quoting it?
Oh yeah, sorry, yes, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see it, Dave? Did you see it behind that photo? Did you think there's something weird about that picture?
Did you see it
Well,
coming, basically?
Yeah.
You knew he was trying to escape, I think, or I did, because
Yeah.
he was trying to shake
you do
out
know he
the-
was, yeah.
the rocks
The
from
rubbles.
his trousers, from his trouser leg, isn't he? As he's out in the yard.
That's it.
Yep.
But
That's right. Yeah, because he does that, doesn't it? And then it stops showing that. So does it, or does he continue?
I think it's just
Continues
it
to do
showed
it.
once as part of the movie, but
Yeah.
it's just it's a good movie all over. There's
Yeah.
there's a reason why it's right up there
Definitely.
on the best movies of all time.
Yeah.
I might want to watch it again.
And I love how Morgan Freeman and finally makes it free because he finally passes parole, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's
it.
right.
By saying
Yeah.
by just basically going, no, I'm never going to get out.
Yeah.
Made my peace. And they let him out, don't they? And he goes,
Yeah.
he's got that little message from Andy, and he's like, "Go to the tree."
That's it.
It's at the end of the wall. There's a rock that has no business being there. And then underneath it, it's got, and he meets him. He's on the beach, isn't he?
Oh, that's such a nice ending. That they're on the beach. The camera pans out. And that was it.
Which is not
What was
what I was
under
expecting.
I saw there was something under.
So there was like a
There's a
little
box.
biscuit box tin or something, isn't it? And and it's is it directions on where he
Can't
is?
remember.
Something like that. Yeah, it's something to tell him that Morgan is in New Mexico.
That's
And
it.
he's like, "Look, come see me. Come look me up." I've escaped or whatever. And it's just that, I love that. That whole story is just like, it's like, there was like, I remember watching this Sky documentary on it and why people thought it was the best. And they said it was like, almost like a metaphor of life. Like some people feel that they're trapped,
Or leaving.
and for them, they saw this escape,
Freedom,
this freedom. And it was like, you feel that freedom. You really feel for him. It's just,
Have you
crazy.
seen Escape from
Pretoria.
Yeah.
That's a good
That's
movie.
good,
That's a good movie. Yeah.
I love prison films.
It's good, isn't it? Yeah. To put something like that in a prison,
If you want something like more
yeah.
true to history, you should watch the Escape from Alcatraz with Clint Eastwood. That's really good.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's
Well,
from
is
the
that a really
70s.
old one? I swear that's
Escape to Alcatraz is an old movie with Clint Eastwood.
Okay.
Really good.
I'll
But
check
but it's based on like how they actually did escape.
I was going to say, is that based on those dudes who sewed all the raincoats together to make a life jacket?
That's it. Yeah.
So that how does that? I've never seen that movie, but how does that end?
I think he gets caught in the end, doesn't he?
Well, because in real life they never found them.
Wow. So they actually escaped.
Yes.
they-
Fuck, I can't remember now.
So there was like four guys. They'd removed a toilet or something in their cell, and they dug a hole in it. They were able to.
And they paper mached a head, so it looked like they were sleeping
So
as
it
well.
looks like
whatnot.
they were asleep on their bed
cool.
when they covered it up,
Wow.
and they'd made like a raft out of. They'd stitched together loads of raincoats or something,
That's amazing.
and then they
Yeah,
went
it's
out into the San Francisco Bay
Yeah.
and were never heard of again. So the
Such a good
prevailing
story.
theory is that they all drowned. But then there's
okay.
always that what if, because there's been hints and rumours that they might have actually made it because the currents are so strong around Alcatraz. It's it's supposed to be inescapable, wasn't it?
That's right. Wow. So there's always that hope that they actually.
Well, I'm gonna have
Is
to-
that the film he recommended?
No, that's real life.
Oh, okay,
But
sure.
I'm going to have to go and watch the film
Yeah,
Escape from Alcatraz now.
Yeah, I think it's on Amazon. So yeah, if you got it, it
I
should
think
be
it's
on
like
there.
£2 that just came out. Yeah.
Great. That's good to know.
Some good.
Now, good choices there, guys.
Oh,
well done.
Amazing.
Thank you, Gokul, for ruining everyone's.
No problem.
Yeah, I was
You're always the last man standing.
Shortest
Always
number
got-
one round ever.
That wasn't it? I think that was the only time that was the one man standing.
Would anyone like to throw in some honourable mentions at all? Or
Yeah, I
There has
had
to be
some
some.
written down. If I can get it up. That's what she said.
that's what you said to your wife.
I think so. You've already said 7. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Unbreakable. Yeah.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
Oh, that
So
was
every M.
scary.
Night Shyamalan movie. basically.
Yeah.
We get it. He's Asian.
Unbreakable.
Well, that's
You sound like Arnie now.
any recommendation from you guys?
Is that it?
Yeah, no, I had Planet of the Apes.
Literally one honourable mention, and it's an Asian guy's movie.
I had 6, but all of them been said. Planet of
Alright.
the Apes, 7, Sixth Sense, which was in Gokul's, Fight
Yeah.
Club, which I already mentioned,
Oh,
The
Fight Club.
Village you had in your list, and Unbreakable.
Yeah, so I found a little list of mine. So Prestige, of course. Jacob's Ladder, Primal Fear.
I've never seen
Um,
Primal Fear. Is it good?
Really good court case
Wait,
movie. Yeah.
guys, sorry, Ant, one more. No, we have to say this. The Usual Suspects.
Yeah.
That bit at the end when he's like...
Yeah,
he
I was about to say that.
walking.
Usual Suspects.
Mate.
I mentioned a movie to you earlier on. Do you remember what I was saying about I can never still get to the end of this day? Triangle.
Oh my god!
That's the Bermuda Triangle one, right?
Yeah. Still, have you ever seen that movie, Triangle?
but
I haven't seen
Need
it.
to watch that.
Damn.
If you can explain the ending to that movie, please, because I still can't. Great ending though, but yeah.
It's good.
One of my, it's really weird I say this. This was gonna go in my top 5, but if you watch the movie, it is brutal and very, very horrible. But as a movie twist itself, is a movie called Irreversible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm going with that one.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
This is it. Butterfly Effect.
Oh yeah.
Isn't Donnie Darko's?
Donnie Darko. Yep, that's on there. Truman Show.
Oh, the Truman Show.
Yeah,
That deserves a bit of a mention,
The
yeah.
Wailing.
Yes.
The Matrix.
Yeah.
Is that the Matrix? Is a twist?
Is it a bit where he flies?
Matrix has a twist halfway through at the end.
Oh,
Sorry, halfway through. Sorry.
Serious?
Obviously, 12 Monkeys we mentioned. The Prisoners. Anyone ever seen that?
Is that the one where they're on the island?
No, this is with Hugh Jackman's kids get kidnapped.
Yeah, that's
Oh yeah, that's a
Yes.
brilliant.
Yeah,
film.
that is
That's
damn.
a
And that's the
good
guy who
movie.
did the recent Doom movie. Did that?
Yeah.
And Arrival's on their list as well.
I was gonna. I thought you were gonna have that. In your
I was
top
going to. It was so close, so close. But the thing is, I'm very sentimental when it comes to
five. Oh, you want
the Arrival, because every time I mention that movie, I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
I can't help it. I just keep crying.
Yeah.
Inception we mentioned.
Inception.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is a great one as well. Hereditary, Split, The Signs,
Split, yeah.
The Orphanage, Lost Highway,
The Orphan.
The Orphan.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did mention that.
Yeah, that was
Eyes Wide
fucked.
Shut.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good film.
I'm sorry, the Orphan at the ending of that was just like I wanted to hide under my pillow. I was like, "You're kidding me, right?" Like,
Yeah.
the girl.
Yeah.
No,
Have you
it's
not
just
seen
like,
The Orphan?
Have you not seen The Orphan? You like horror movies, gal? Like, you have to watch that. And you've seen The
scary.
Orphan,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Okay, that's from the three of us, gal. You have to.
Nash is at the end. And my favourite Scarlett Johansson movie ever. This was so close to again going into the top 5, which is a movie called Under the Skin. Not telling you the ending because that movie is an experience on its own.
Okay.
If you ever get a chance, Under the Skin, Scarlett Johansson's best movie ever. That's all mine and done.
That's great.
Anyone else want to throw anything in? If not, we'll end it there, guys.
I think
I think that's it.
You've just covered. I was, as you were saying, I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, okay.
Not quick enough. Right, we'll leave it there, guys. So, guys, thank you for coming on. That was a really, really good episode.
Amazing.
Guys, if you liked what you listened to, follow us on Facebook at the M.T.V.B. Podcast, or on Instagram at M.T.V.B. Podcast, or on TikTok at M.T.V. Podcast 197, or on Twitter on M.T.V. Podcast 1. Do you know what? How good is that? I remembered that. There's a lot of M.T.V.Bs. From now on, this is Ant-Man, Dave, Gokul, and Big Gal signing off.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Peace out.
Get busy living or get busy dying.